Hello and welcome to the Collegiate Sports Network for tonight's final game of the regular season between the Wichita Collegiate Spartans and the Clearwater Indians, as these two teams will face off on senior night for the Collegiate Spartans, as we will take a quick pause at the top of this broadcast for the national anthem and be back for player introductions.
Singing tonight's national anthem, Wichita Collegiate Junior, Elise Powers.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you so much, Elise.
Now getting ready for player introductions. Only one senior in the lineup tonight for the Spartans. It'll be Kaylee Villagomez.
Only one senior, but seeing a lot of new faces here in the crowd tonight. It's really good to see the collegiate people come out tonight for this game.
And Aiden, tonight for the Clearwater Indians on the other side of the court, the big story is going to be the three Clevengers on the court at a given time for the Indians. They certainly dominated the Spartans in the last game.
Yeah, just thinking back, you can remember just how dominantly they played, whether it be shooting, rebounding, or driving up in the lane. They are very versatile players, work well off of each other, especially passing-wise. Definitely a dangerous combination that the Collegiate Spartans are going to have to look out for.
5'9" junior, number 35, Kaylee Hampton. And for your Spartans at line good for senior number 10, Kaylee Villagomez.
Certainly a bittersweet night here on senior night, as Kaylee Villagomez introduced into the lineup, second to last for the Spartans. Final into the game will be Maddie Turnez for the Spartans, as Clearwater rounds out their lineup with number 42, Justine Berlin, as now Maddie Turnez checks into the game for the Spartans. As we said, these two teams have matched off before. At Clearwater, Spartans took the loss.
Both teams during tonight's game.
Yeah, these two teams have faced off before. It certainly hasn't been one of Collegiate's worst matchups, but still, Collegiate's coming out, going into this game. They're definitely going to have to take advantage of the home court advantage and just play hard all throughout if they want to have a chance.
Both teams back to their respective benches, getting ready to tip the ball off here from Collegiate.
Collegiate going to try and diversify the plays, try and get going from the start with a whole bunch of different kinds of offensive strategies, especially trying to get the ball inside to Julia Herman. We saw that being a big struggle against Wellington just a few nights ago. And tonight, presuming this Clearwater team has watched any film whatsoever, we're going to be accepting a very similar strategy from them. So Collegiate, it's really going to come down to how well they can execute Coach Dillon's strategy tonight.
Saw the Spartans struggle with a little bit of outside shooting most of this year, although Lainey Conrad was able to do a good job. Ball tipped into the front court. Spartans had an open layup look from Tatum Downing, no good. Rebound, though, recovered by Conrad. Spartans will keep the possession.
Good way to set up the offense early.
Downing dribbles the ball out to the perimeter, to the right side, gives it off to Turnez, now back to Downing. Downing near the top of the key. Looking to set up the offense once again. High screen set by Herman. Picks up her dribble, pivots, gets it off to Conrad in the left corner. Conrad back to Downing, top of the key. Spartans looking to set up some kind of play, getting the ball inside. Downing dribbles into the lane, kicks it back out, free throw line. Herman, no good on the jumper, and rebound secured by Chaden. Chaden, deep pass down court to Berlin, who scores it.
That was a good executed pass right there by Collegiate. Got it open to Julia Herman, but once again, we saw the similar issue of not being able to execute.
Pass nearly picked off in the backcourt. Spartans able to hold on to it, though. Tatum Downing once again taking up the possession for the Spartans. Downing dribbles off to her left, gets down to the elbow, picks it up, met by Berlin, guarded heavily, kicks it out to Turnez. Turnez running on the right baseline, turns it over. Herman gets it right back. Out from Madison Clevenger, kicks it back out. Turnez, long two on the way, no good. Rebound fought for underneath, secured by Hampton. Hampton hands it off to Chaden. Chaden looking to run offense for the Indians. Kicks the ball back out to Hampton, now gets it right back. Now ball in the hands of Allison Clevenger, kicked out Berlin. Three on the way, no good. And Downing comes down with the rebound for the Spartans. Score just 2-0 right now, minute and a half in.
So far, both teams tied with turnovers. Collegiate just struggling to set up their offense.
Downing picks up her dribble, gets it to a cutting Herman, who scores.
Great pass right there. Way to go to set up the offense. That's what we want to see from this Collegiate team offensively.
Nice action for the Spartans there. We've seen them do that a little bit more in this final kind of quarter or third of the season, is get that cutting action to Julia Herman, who just runs a misdirection on her player, on her defender, as a three is drained on the other side of the court by Hampton.
Yeah, the thing about these Clearwater girls is they can 100% shoot the ball. It's a big danger for Collegiate. They're going to really have to work on their defense, not letting them get any opportunities to shoot.
Herman gets it out to Turnez, barely saves the pass from going out of bounds. Kicked back out now to Downing near half court. Downing swings it around to Turnez. Turnez on the right side looking for options, picks up her dribble at the right elbow. Gives it off to Herman on the right side. Herman, cross-court pass deflected away. Ball on the floor past half court. Secured by Conrad, given back off to Downing. Downing gets it up past the timeline. Dribbles off to her right, met by a double team. Gets it out to Conrad on the right side into Herman. Herman fighting against two defenders. Spins, puts up the shot, blocked. Foul called.
Good for two. Great job by Julia Herman to get herself into that kind of a situation. When it's a one-on-one, the defenders have to hound her because they know just how consistent she can be in that close zone range.
Yeah, Aiden, she did a really good job breaking around that double team. Just put the shot up a little bit late, though, and it looked like it got fully blocked. Fortunately for the Spartans, a blocking foul called. Herman gets the first free throw to go, now looking to convert the second. Shot up and good. Julia Herman gets both at the line. That makes it a 5-4 game. Clearwater leading. 5 minutes left in the first period.
Collegiate offense already looking way better than they have in the past few games, getting it in, getting good passes, controlling the turnovers.
In pass underneath, Allison Clevenger can't get it to go, and a foul on the rebound. The Spartans are going to get it back. This one called on Hampton.
So far, Collegiate doing a much better job controlling themselves on fouls and turnovers than we have seen in the past. We're going to look for them to stay consistent throughout this game.
Clearwater sells out for the steal in the backcourt, unable to come away with it. Madison Clevenger was pursuing the ball, instead gets into the hands of Downing. Downing circles back to the right, gets an in pass to Herman. Herman catch and shoot. Never had a good angle at the basket, just scorched the layup. And rebound goes out to Allison Clevenger. Pass thrown away in the half court. And the Spartans are going to get the ball right back. Clearwater a bit careless with the ball.
Yeah, Collegiate getting some good offensive sets there. We saw a double screen there to get Herman inside, just couldn't quite convert, never really had the angle on it, but still those good drawn up plays and being well executed is exactly what they need, as they're doing the same thing here again.
Downing at the top of the key, swings the ball back right, gets it to cutting Herman. Herman can't get the layup to go. Rebound goes out to Turnez, out to Conrad, takes a three from the left side, no good, missed long. Downing came up with the rebound, and the pass was deflected away and stolen by Chaden. Chaden gets it up court to Berlin. Berlin lays it up, no good. Foul, though, on Turnez in transition.
So far, Collegiate is doing a much better job than they have in the past to get it inside to Julia Herman. They're doing a good job with some well-executed passes, getting her in the spot that they want. But still, Julia Herman just being absolutely bogged down by some of these double teams, unable to always execute. Sometimes less of her own fault, but really just once you're being bogged down that heavily by several players at a time, it becomes exceedingly hard to execute.
Berlin made the first free throw and now gets the second to extend the Indian lead to 3. The score now 7-4. Yeah, Aiden, what I've seen from Clearwater a little bit is kind of a matchup zone almost. It's not really that full-on 2-3 zone that we've seen the Spartans had to go against much of this season, and that seems to be helping them quite a bit as Downing turns it over on the carry. What we've seen, though, from the Spartans is that it's a lot easier to get the ball inside when it's more of a man-to-man defense or more of kind of a matchup zone than a full-on 2-3 zone or a 3-2 zone going against them.
I completely agree. This Clearwater defense is breaking down in part, not maintaining its 2-3 zone structure.
Foul called on the floor in the front court for Collegiate. Foul called on Monahan. Clearwater's going to get 2 new players into the game. It'll be McKenna Hampton and Carlson.
A couple of consecutive fouls by Collegiate here gives Clearwater the opportunity to once again set up their offense.
Berlin gets the pass in on the out-of-bounds play. No good on the layup, but rebound secured by Chaden. Chaden taking the point back up for the Indians.
Not often you see a player who can jump over Julia Herman to possess the rebound.
Allison Clevenger with the ball, gives it back off to Carlson. Carlson in pass to Berlin. Layup is good. Count the basket for McKenna Hampton. Downing working with Turnez to get the ball across the timeline, able to do so.
Look right there, you can see how the zone is breaking down into more of a man-on-man defense.
Turnez gets the pass into Herman. Herman met by a double-team reach-in foul called underneath. See who it gets assessed to. There are 2 defenders on her, as it's going to be called on Allison Clevenger.
It seems like Clearwater is desperate to find an answer for Julia Herman under the basket. However, because Collegiate can't really diversify who they're shooting with outside of her, they can easily double-team her.
Yeah, and they haven't done a very effective job at getting the ball away from her down low. They have prevented her from scoring a couple of times, though, but not that time as Herman gets the 5-footer to go in the paint. Ball into Berlin. Berlin kicks it back out for 3. Hampton, no good. And Monahan comes down with the rebound. Monahan kicks it back out to Downing.
Clearwater no longer using their full-court defense, now trying to control them inside.
Downing to Conrad. Conrad pulls the 3. No good. Just missed it short. Rebound tipped out to Downing from Herman, and another foul called on the floor on Clearwater. They're racking up the fouls.
They already have 4 with still 2 minutes and 13 seconds left. They really got to learn to control themselves throughout this game. Just going to keep giving Collegiate opportunities to capitalize.
Downing looking to get the ball in from the baseline for the Spartans. Bit of a lazy pass to Conrad. Found her hands. Downing now on the right side. Dribbles back near half court. Cuts off to her right. Now gets it out to Monahan. Monahan tried to get the pass away to Villa Gomez, but Allison Clevenger flew into the passing lane, and it seems like she hit Chloe Villa Gomez kind of in the jaw trying to go for the steal.
Yeah, but a great job by her to get inside that passing lane. She couldn't quite hold on to it, but to knock it away, definitely a jarring thing for them to just see a person fly into their passing lane.
Downing on the right side, met by a double team, nearly picked off, gets it to Monahan. Monahan now back out to Conrad. Thought about the 3 momentarily, picks up her dribble, now gets it to Monahan. Monahan puts the ball on the court, near the top of the key, swings it around to Downing on the left side. Dribbles back right, gets it off to Conrad, now back to Downing. Downing fakes the pass left, instead gets it out to Conrad on the right, dribbles baseline against 2 defenders, no good on the shot, and rebound Allison Clevenger.
Without the height provided by Julia Herman, it's hard to outbody these Clearwater girls.
Berlin in transition gets the basket to go with a foul. Or hold on, looks like they're going to call this foul on the floor. It was close on whether she was in the shooting motion or not. They will say it was on the court, so basket will not go.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity there for Collegiate to draw the charge. Couldn't quite get it.
Open 3 on the out-of-bounds play for Hampton. No good. Rebound, though, goes back out to the Indians. Berlin driving the lane. No good. And it'll go out of bounds, going the Spartans' way. So good stand defensively that time by the Spartans. Able to keep this lead to just 3 for the Indians.
However, it seems as though when Julia Herman isn't on the court, these Clearwater girls have no reservations about driving inside against multiple defenders, as they just out-length and out-height and out-body these Collegiate girls most of the time.
Turnus with the ball, gets it across half court into the hands of Conrad. Conrad dribbles all the way to her right, turns the corner against her defender, met by the help defense, gets it back out to Herman. Herman gets around her defender, tries to put the shot up, fouled as she went up with it, and that'll put the Spartans now into the bonus. Herman going to the line for 2 on the shooting foul.
Julia Herman finding all the opportunities she wants and getting inside right now. Clearwater just having an absolutely and nearly impossible time controlling her.
Herman's first free throw goes. And Aiden, we talk about how these Spartans lack depth against a lot of teams so often. Getting them in foul trouble is one way to kind of mitigate that difference.
Yeah, absolutely. As they're now in the bonus with only a minute left, this is a good opportunity for Collegiate to get some free shots off, as setting up their offense has been one of the biggest issues they've had this season.
Ball back into Madison Clevenger, who's back into the game. Spartans going for a full court press, went for the steal, a little bit over aggressive reach and foul called. And it'll be assigned to Herman.
Although in a close game like this, Collegiate itself has to watch out for these fouls as well, as there are now 4 fouls in. This doesn't necessarily propose any trouble for this quarter, but in future quarters, they really have to watch out for themselves.
Yeah, as much as Clearwater's committing the fouls, seems like Collegiate isn't doing much better at the stature of the game. Open 3 taken, drained, but an illegal screen called beforehand on Cameron Carlson. Spartans get it right back on the turnover.
As the coach is going to call out against this kind of a play, really frustrated, saying the ball was already in the air by the time the screen was set, but play shall continue.
Turnez gets the ball near half court, 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Spartans down by 1, chance to take the lead here on this possession. Turnez picks up her dribble, looking for help. Offense has moved to the opposite side of the court. Someone has to go help her. Conrad finally comes to the rescue, and quick timeout called by Coach Heath, trying to set up the offense and get them in a position to lead this game going into the break.
Yeah, that was a good timeout right there. We kind of saw Herman get locked up in the outside arc. Couldn't quite find any passers to get it into. Just saw Collegiate once again getting really stuck on these offensive drives. But yeah, throughout this game so far, we're seeing a much better job of Collegiate offensively. We've seen some good play execution. That's something they've really struggled with, is kind of controlling their repetition, not falling back into bad habits, but instead moving a little riskier, trying to get into Herman, or even just passing along the outside, taking some riskier shots. They're doing a great job of that. Whereas Clearwater is really just fully content to use their size, especially players like Allison Clevenger, who are just so tall compared to most of this Collegiate team, to drive up offensively. And when they aren't driving up or grabbing for the rebound, they have some really, really consistent shooters to back them up. It's a pretty similar offensive style to that of the Collegiate boys team, but Clearwater just struggling to execute a little bit more.
In 17.6 seconds left in the first quarter, what kind of play are you looking for here as the Spartans have the ball back in? You try to dump the ball into Herman, presumably.
Yeah, seriously, especially as she's open without the double team, and that's
6 seconds left, puts up the shot, no good. And with 2 seconds left, Clearwater has a chance, unable to get a shot off at the buzzer. So that'll leave us where we're at, a 9-8 the score at the end of the first quarter.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were looking for. Julia Herman found herself in a situation where she only had one defender on her back, and you could kind of see her calling for it, as she knew that that was the best situation she would find herself in all night to score the points, is not when she finds herself open, because that's not going to happen very often. It's when she only has one defender on her in comparison to being double teamed. But so far for this game, Collegiate is doing an absolutely amazing job controlling the turnovers, especially in comparison to the last couple games, where we've seen games consisting of 34 and 38 turnovers. Right now, they're holding it to be tied with only 3 turnovers a team.
Yeah, Aiden, we've seen it be close a couple of times, but you certainly have to like what you see right now for the Spartans, taking care of the ball, getting Julia Herman involved on the offensive side of things. It's been a really good performance so far for the Spartans, and if they can keep playing like this, you have to feel like they have a solid shot at the victory. They've played well at home down the stretch, and that trend could continue tonight.
Absolutely, but at this point, you really just got to knock on wood and hope that they can continue this trend of success, especially offensively, because as soon as they find themselves with Clearwater catching a solid run, especially with some consistent shooters on the court, it can be really, really hard for this kind of lesser scoring collegiate offense to come back.
Chaden gives the ball off to Hampton. Hampton, ball passed back out. Chaden, 3 on the way, good.
And that's exactly what I was warning about. All it took was one stutter step, and she got it to go.
Downing gets the ball up into the front court. 7.5 minutes now left in the half. Spartans trail by 4, 12-8 the score. Herman with the ball on the left side, kicks it to Conrad. Conrad on the right side, tries to get it into Herman. Herman creates separation, fadeaway shot, no good. Herman fighting for the rebound, couldn't come down with it. It's Chaden in transition, Euro step in the lane, gets it to go.
Man, not only can she shoot, but can she drive. That was an amazing Euro step right there. Managed to get around 2 separate collegiate defenders, drive up, and really no struggle with the layup.
Downing dribbles off to her right, kicks it to Conrad. Conrad thought about the 3 momentarily, instead gives it off to Downing. Downing dumps it down to Herman, kicks it back out. Conrad, 3 on the way, no good. Might have been partially deflected, out of bounds. It goes on the shot to Clearwater.
Good job by Turnez to try and get that ball back into play for collegiate there. Not quite successful, as Clearwater's going to have an opportunity to set up the offense.
Madison Clevenger gets the ball into Chaden. Chaden, mid-range shot, no good. Rebound fought for underneath, dribbled out of bounds though by Madison Clevenger. It'll be going the Spartans' way.
Clearwater, is seemingly having a bit more success when they have the numbers advantage, or when collegiate is being forced to move in transition to find their defense. However, when they find themselves set up, trying to pass around, get inside, they're finding it much, much harder to execute.
Herman gets fouled once again on the floor. She's been a magnet so far early in this game.
Yeah, it clearly shows how much Clearwater is afraid of this girl getting open inside the paint. She is so consistent, and all collegiate can really do is pass inside to her. And once they do, these girls are going to either foul her or just be as aggressive as humanly possible to get it away.
Well, when she's got 100% of the scoring, you'd figure that might be the case. 3 on the way, no good, missed everything. Called a pass to Downing. Jump ball called as they fight for the rebound. Possession arrow will keep the ball on this end with the Spartans.
Yeah, you're exactly right. So far, Julia Herman has all 8 points for the collegiate Spartans so far. We have seen some pretty okay shooting by Conrad so far this year, but nothing consistent enough to make her more of a danger.
Herman tried to kick the ball out to Conrad. Instead, turns it over into the hands of Chaden. In transition, lays it up with a foul.
She has been an absolute danger all night so far, not only with the shooting, but as I said, some real athleticism driving into the lane. She's not even one of Clearwater's taller girls on their team, but instead she has that athleticism and ball knowledge, how to use Euro steps, how to use some more advanced moves to navigate the collegiate defense.
Chaden picking apart the Spartans right now in transition on turnovers with 8 points now in the game. Turnez brings the ball into the front court for collegiate, dribbles off to her left, picks it up, looking for options, heavily guarded by Madison Clevenger, who forces the travel.
She was just getting absolutely hounded by the defense there. Not a whole lot she could do in that situation. That's the second time she's been pinned in that exact spot.
Chaden with the ball on the right side, dumps the pass down to Clevenger. Clevenger puts up the shot, no good. She's fouled, though. Called on Monahan. I believe that's her second already.
Yeah, I think if you're looking at the stark difference between these two teams in this game is that Clearwater just has so many more options in diversifying who they're shooting with. Every single player on that court for Clearwater is a danger, whether it be shooting or driving inside the lane. And that's just something that collegiate hasn't had all season. And that's really a quality that takes more than a season to change within a team.
Allison Clevenger missed her first free throw, now misses the second off the front iron. And foul as the rebound being fought for underneath. Monahan came away with it and was fouled by Chaden.
Clearwater returning back to their full court defense. Collegiate's been doing a much, much better job stopping those turnovers in the backcourt. However, in the full court, it's just been a real bad issue with setting up the defense, as Coach Dylan Keith is going to take a timeout again.
Yeah, and the Spartans looking to reset here. This has just been kind of one of those games where there's just not a lot of rhythm. It goes back and forth for a minute and then stops immediately. You get a couple of stoppages to play. Gets going for another maybe 2 plays, but not a lot of flow to this game, and a lot of turnovers have characterized the second quarter for the Spartans. Like it has been for most of the second half of the season. It's not been in the backcourt, but the front court instead, where they've been trying to get maybe the ball swung around the perimeter or kicked back out to the perimeter, and they turn it over and leads to an easy breakout.
Yeah, you really got to fight for this ball every step of the way. You can't just focus on the backcourt, in which most of the teams are going to be using full court pressure, but still setting up the offense has been a significant issue.
Downing sizing up the 2-1-2 zone now of Clearwater, who shifts around their defense. Gets it off to Chloe Villagomez, now to Downing. Chloe Villagomez now with the ball, turns it over, tried to get the pass in to Kaylee Villagomez, turned over to Chaden. Chaden in transition, another Euro step reverse layup, no good. Rebound, though, goes out to Hampton, kicked out for the 3. Clevenger, no good. Sorry, it was Berlin on the shot, missed it. Chaden comes down with the rebound, though, and gets it right out to Berlin. Chaden wide open for 3, good.
That is her second open made 3 of the night. That's kind of what we were talking about a little bit earlier, about how each of these Clearwater girls have their own strengths when it comes to offense, and that's just something you would never see from this collegiate team, is having a player like Tatum Downing taking an open 3 like that.
Yeah, Aiden, you just can't leave a good shooter that open. There was nobody for about 15 feet around her. Mishandled pass, Spartans fighting for it, turned over, though, as Downing flew on the floor for it and tipped it out of bounds, going Clearwater's way as the Spartans starting to break down offensively.
Yeah, offensively and defensively. Once they start breaking down offensively, as they have already more than doubled their turnovers from the first quarter, that just turns into a lot more of those offensive opportunities that Clearwater likes, where it's fast-moving and Collegiate doesn't have time to set up their zone defense.
Chaden kicks out to Berlin. Berlin on the left side looking dribble baseline. Instead gets it down to Allison Clevenger, lays it up, no good. Clevenger gets her own rebound, threw it high off the glass, no good, and tips it out of bounds on the rebound. Spartans will have the ball.
Yeah, you kind of see the Clearwater coach just going, what was that right there? She had all the height advantage over those collegiate girls, all the opportunity to get herself over. As we could see, she could easily get those rebounds, just couldn't quite execute, couldn't quite get that basketball in the hoop.
Clearwater going to use a larger score advantage to get a new player into the game, Kaylin Potter. Downing dribbles off to her right as Spartans trail by 12, 20-8 the score, just under 4 minutes left in the half. Downing dribbles off to her right. Still on the right side, fighting for the ball, tries to knife through 2 defenders. Gets the steal back, though. Downing in transition, shot rejected from behind but fouled.
Good job right there by Tatum Downing to recover her own mistake and get that ball back, drawing the foul, hoping to get a couple more points for Collegiate to kind of sort of keep them in this game and stop it from getting too far away from them.
Downing shooting 2 from the line. First free throw rattles out. Downing second now on the way. Also missed that one. Spartans come up empty from the charity stripe. As Clearwater comes down with the rebound, Chaden moving the ball up quickly, finds Hampton, now back to Chaden. Chaden, long 3 on the way, no good. Rebound being fought for underneath, tipped out of bounds, off of Hampton.
Man, that was some Kelsey Clark range right there.
Caitlin Clark?
Caitlin Clark, oh goodness. Yes, that's what I meant, all the way nearly back to the logo for that 3.
Downing gets the ball across half court. Met by a bit of a shadow double team. Clearwater not fully committing to it, but made her feel a bit of a presence, and the ball passed over the head of Herman by Conrad. Hampton in transition, bit of mismatch against Monahan. Monahan tried to get the stop in transition, but just kind of came down on her and fouled her. 3rd foul on Monahan. She is surely going to have to come out of this game.
Man, both teams in this situation are really struggling to control their fouls throughout the night so far.
McKenna Hampton at the line shooting 2. First free throw, good.
the line shooting 1 shot.
Second one on the way, also good. So Hampton gets into the scoring column with her first 2.
Yeah, that's the other thing about this Clearwater team is every one of them is much, much more consistent when it comes to those free throws than these collegiate girls are as well. We saw both of Tatum Downing's shots just simply rattle out when she had the opportunity to take those free throws, whereas each and every one of these Clearwater girls can shoot relatively consistently.
Yeah, Aiden, and you talked about the scoring consistency for Clearwater. A bunch of players with a couple of baskets in this game as Conrad just airballs a 3 as the rebound goes out to Clevenger. Clevenger into Berlin. Berlin kicks it back out, swung around the perimeter, out to Berlin. Berlin knifing through the lane. High shot off the glass and gets it to go.
Great move by her. Drove up against 2 defenders. That's one of those offensive possessions Clearwater likes, where it's very fast moving.
Conrad tried to get a jump pass away, tipped and stolen by Carlson, and Carlson traveled with it. She picked up her pivot foot. 2.5 minutes left in the half. Spartans trail 24-8. And that has turned into a disastrous 15-0 run for the Indians.
Clearwater a little frustrated with themselves on that possession, but really they have found themselves in this situation that I warned Collegiate about in that first quarter, in that they have just found themselves getting so far away with this game, especially with some very consistent shooting and offensive possessions, that with this less consistent collegiate offense, it becomes increasingly hard for them to come back.
Turnez gets the ball into Downing. Downing out to Monahan. Monahan on the right side gets it back to Turnez. Turnez kicks back out to Monahan on the right wing. Now out to Herman. Herman just a little bit careless with the ball, turns it over into the hands of Chaden in transition again. No good. Kicked back out though. Second chance 3 on the way. No good. Chaden comes down with the rebound, puts up the third opportunity, and finally gets it to go as the Spartans just losing out on the glass.
Yeah, that was 3 consecutive rebounds where every single member of the collegiate team was directly under the basket, where Clearwater just used the length advantage.
Clevenger gets into a passing lane and lays it up in transition. Spartans struggling to get anything moving now offensively as the meltdown is kind of continuing for them, and a travel by Maddie Turnez as she tried to take the ball up court, pretty much unguarded doing so, as the Spartans might be in their own heads a little bit at this point.
Yeah, it seems at this point, with a much bigger crowd than usual here, the collegiate girls are just kind of tripping over themselves, trying to collect themselves and recover from this deep hole they've been dug into.
Ball out to Allison Clevenger. Clevenger kicks it back around to Noland. Nolan now to Berlin. Berlin gets the pass inside to Kylie Hampton, and she scores it.
And I counted 1, 2, 3 collegiate defenders trying to stop her there. She just rose above, managed to get that layup to go.
Yeah, and they got that ball in behind 3 defenders. The Spartans just unable to stop the in pass to the cutting Hampton. Turnez with the ball, kicks it back out to Downing. Just under a minute left in the half. Spartans still yet to score in this quarter. Downing kicks it back out to Turnez. Turnez dribbling to her right, looking to find Herman. Instead, pass it over her head, gets it out to Monahan. Monahan kicked around to Downing. Downing gets the mid-range shot to go from about 7 feet.
Good basket by her there. That was a bit of a corner, too. Good job from her to get it to go when she saw the open opportunity.
22 seconds left. We'll see if Clearwater tries to take the final shot. Ball fought for underneath. Foul called on Herman as she tried to contest the shot by Chaden. Chaden so far dominating this game for Clearwater with 13 points, going to the line for 2.
Yeah, she definitely isn't the tallest or even the most consistent shooter out of everybody. But when it comes to just pure athleticism and ball knowledge, there is clearly far and away nobody better than her when it comes to this Clearwater team.
Chaden, the second free throw, also gets it to go. She converts both from the line, now has 15 points, single-handedly outscoring the Spartans by 5 in this game.
Yeah, her pure athleticism is absolutely dominating over this collegiate defense, as we've mentioned multiple times, where they've managed to find themselves moving in between and around multiple collegiate defenders at once. And although they do have the height advantage on a lot of these collegiate defenders, there's no way you can 100% contribute it to only that. It's a big combination of just better athleticism, better ball knowledge, and much better ball handling when it comes to being able to work in between and around collegiate defenders.
Spartans looking to get something here at the end of the half. 32-10 the score.
Spartans basketball.
Chance to set something up here. Downing gets the ball in, passes it up court to Turnez, who gives it right back. 5 seconds left. Spartans have to go quick. Turnez met by a double team. 2 seconds left. She might just have to get rid of it. Not sure if she's going to be able to, and she will not be able to, as the clock expires with the ball in the hands of Turnez. So the Spartans trail going into halftime 32-10 after a disastrous second quarter where they get outscored 23-2.
Yeah, what started off as a very successful competitive first quarter has kind of turned into a really just unfortunate second quarter in which Collegiate is not only just getting straight up outscored, but just dominated defensively. They cannot get a point in for the life of them. It seems like as soon as Clearwater kind of saw that drawn up play, saw how they were getting it inside to Julia Herman pretty consistently, after that, there was just no chance.
Yeah, and that's one of those quarters that you didn't really see coming. There are some of these games for these Spartans that they play, and you know it's going to be a tough night. You know, McPherson, Wellington was even that way with how good they are this season. And Clearwater gave the Spartans a really tough time the first time these two teams played, but the Spartans were able to stick around a little bit more in that game, it seemed like. This one just turned on a dime.
Yeah, absolutely. This game, in a matter of one quarter stoppage, went from a very competitive game to just being an absolute wipeout by these Clearwater Indians. They're doing an absolutely amazing job moving around this collegiate defense, isolating players that they know can consistently shoot, and once they find that kind of consistency, there's really no chance.
Well, after a tough second quarter, we will head to halftime. The Spartans trail 32-10. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the start of the second half. Hello and welcome back to the Collegiate Sports Network as we get ready to start the second half here from Collegiate. The Spartans trail 32-10 after what was a difficult second quarter, to say the least. Aiden, what's it going to take for the Spartans to catch a little bit of momentum and get that spark back?
At this point in the game, what you really want to be able to see is for them to lock down that zone on defense. The best situation that Clearwater likes is those fast leading turnarounds where they have all the momentum moving in their direction and they're able to come back in this game and score quickly against an unprepared collegiate defense. Really what you want to do to be able to catch your spark in this game is set up that 2-3 zone defense a little bit quicker, get into a position where they can quickly come back and fight against these Clearwater Indians, lead to a couple more turnovers is what they'd like to see, and fight back. I think that's just going to be the best way that Collegiate can fight back in this, and the rest of this game is to just fight the turnovers and play defense that creates offense.
Clearwater with the first possession of the second half, and they will drain a three from Kaylee Hampton immediately.
Clearwater pulling back the full court defense, opting to set up instead.
Turnez with the ball. Gives it back to Downing. Yeah, and that's something that we've seen a lot so far from the Indians, is that they haven't really employed too much of a full court press, instead opting to pressure the Spartans in the front court just like that as the ball's turned over into the hands of Chaden. Once again, laid up off the glass, no good from Hampton. Berlin comes down with the rebound and is fouled as she tried to get the putback to go.
Collegiate fouls on Katie Villagomez, her second.
Villagomez gets called for the foul.
Collegiate still struggling to find their spark in the second half of this game as they are still getting consistently outscored.
Berlin's first free throw is straight through.
Not a lot to be said on that possession. Once again, Collegiate just kind of got a little bit out-rebounded. As she's going to make her second one, Collegiate looking to set something up on offense without completely relying on Julia Herman.
Yeah, and those second chance opportunities and even third chance opportunities at times for Clearwater have been a backbreaker for the Spartans. Downing dribbles the ball off to the right side, finds Herman, immediately met by a double team, passes it right into the hands of Clevenger, who got into a passing lane trying to kick the ball back out. Berlin in transition gets the layup to go.
That was against, once again, multiple Collegiate defenders that were kind of caught a little bit defenseless as they just got out-bodied right there. 42, Clevenger, probably the tallest player on that team.
Passed over the head of Conrad in the front court. Spartans turn it over once again.
Spartans looking to increase their defense, trying to get something stopped here.
Berlin knifing into the paint, gets an easy pass off to Madison Clevenger, who lays it in.
Yeah, that was a great opportunity, great passing there. That wasn't just one player driving into the lane, rather that was a full team effort. I think that's what could...
Pass tipped out of bounds. Spartans will keep it on this end. Chaden nearly came away with another steal.
I think that offensive possession right there by Clearwater would be what Mr. Michael would call an oyster carnival, where the ball was just kind of passed around, not allowing any Collegiate player to get a solid grasp on the ball. And then they kind of just lost track of it, giving Clearwater an easy in.
Anyway, moving on to the next possession. Tatum Downing now with the ball, passes it off to Conrad. Gets it back now to Turnez. Turnez kicked back out to Downing, top of the key. Downing now back out to Herman. Herman dribbles the right elbow. Herman, ball on the floor, fighting for it against three defenders. Ball is called tied up. It'll stay on this end with the Spartans.
Collegiate just running themselves ragged, trying to get the ball inside. They're not finding any of the opportunities they were finding in the first quarter to get it inside.
Downing gets the pass on the inbounds, gets it back out to Turnez. Turnez now at the top of the key. Turnez dribbles back to her left, looking for Conrad, finds her. Conrad met by a double team. Now just Hampton on her, gets it out to Downing. Downing deep pass to Herman, collision in midair As Clearwater is able to come away with the steal. Berlin now in transition, trying to get a quick pass away, tipped off the hands of Turnez. It'll stay on this end. Clearwater going to inbound under the basket.
Clearwater looking once again to try and pass inside, get one of those quick transition moves where they have all the advantage when the numbers are even.
Ball pass to Berlin at the top of the key. Chaden calling for it, thought about the three, steps back, almost took it from about college range. Instead gets it off to Berlin, wide open three, top of the key, gets it to go.
I would love to see the Clearwater shooting percentage right now, as that I believe that is the 4th or 5th made three of the night so far for them.
Yeah, it's been easy in the paint. It's been easy from behind the arc tonight for Clearwater. Not a bunch that they can't get from the field right now.
Yeah, and that is coming from a diverse amount of players. Number 33, number 42, and number 35, all players who have been consistently shooting from behind the arc.
Yeah, Aiden, we went into halftime, and it was Chaden, number 33, that was leading the scoring primarily at 15, but Berlin has snuck up there really quickly to get 13 of her own. Villagomez gets the ball out to Downing, and Dylan Heath going to call a timeout for the Spartans.
Collegiate once again struggling to find anything offensively, where they're coming back to the same problems that we were having at Wellington and McPherson, where they just, once they get in the ball inside, they're making good, smart passes, but they're just getting outmaneuvered. The Clearwater team is moving more strategically and quicker to get inside the passing lane and move inside to steal balls away.
Yeah, and as we look ahead a little bit to what will likely be a sub-state matchup against Cheney, certainly going to be a tough matchup for the Spartans. Is there anything they can do here to kind of build back on some momentum, try to get something positive going into the postseason, which is certainly going to be an uphill battle?
Yeah, absolutely. At this point in the game, experience is key. Really what you're wanting to do is set up more of those offensive possessions where you're running plays that are consistently working. And once you're finding those consistently working plays, you're constantly making alterations to those plays where they stay fresh. It's a really, really hard balance to keep, especially when you have really only one consistent shooter in the game in Julia Herman, but that's something Collegiate is absolutely needs to do and is absolutely vital for them if they're going to have any chance in the postseason.
Downing had the ball, tried to get it off to Herman, instead tipped and stolen away by McKenna Hampton. Gets the ball back out to Chaden. Chaden top of the key into Berlin. Berlin trying to go against two defenders, trying to get the pass off to Berlin, who likely would have had an open three. Instead, took her a second to corral it. Now the ball into Hampton. Gives it back off to Berlin. Chaden, three from deep, gets it to go. Chaden is red hot.
That was a contested three, at least from college range, but extremely deep. Very good three by her.
Villagomez in transition for the Spartans, can't get it to go. Chloe Villagomez comes up short on the pass from Monahan. The Spartans were able to move the ball quick and get a good look in transition. Unable to convert, though. Berlin on the other side. Chaden, heat check, no good. And Monahan comes down with the rebound. 47-10 the score, 3.5 minutes left in the third quarter. Spartans much the same as the second quarter, unable to score at this point.
Once again, finding themselves in situations where they're getting out-competed for the ball. And once again, another turnover. Monahan tried to pass it inside, but Clearwater was all the way into that passing lane.
Clearwater happy to return the favor as they turn it over in transition with a pass over the head of Berlin. Collegiate will get a couple of substitutions. Turnez with the ball at the top of the key. Gets it into Monahan. Monahan now top of the key. Gets it to Herman, cutting towards the basket, met by two defenders. Tried to force a shot anyway. No good. 3-on-1 situation for Clearwater down court. Berlin gets the layup to go on the pass from Chaden.
Awkward layup right there, but still got it to go. High up off the glasses, Coach Dylan Heath is going to take another timeout in this situation, as they have continuously had zero success when it comes to driving down and setting anything up on offense.
Yeah, and Coach Heath happy to burn some timeouts right now to try to get his team right in some way.
Yeah, 2 minutes and 6 seconds left in this quarter. Still have been unable to score for some time now. Collegiate just really struggling to find anything to get going, whereas the Clearwater Indians, every single transition move they get, I would say they have pretty consistently scored on nearly every single time the Collegiate Spartans have turned the ball over.
Yeah, and that's another thing, Aiden. We haven't necessarily seen as many turnovers as some of the maximum amount of times that the Spartans have turned the ball over this season, but it seems like Clearwater is converting on every single opportunity that they could possibly have in transition, a lot of that being led by Chaden and in the second half by Berlin as well.
Clearwater leading 49-10 at this point in the game. Collegiate trying to do anything possible to get some more points up on the board.
Turnez gets the ball into Herman. Herman, top of the key, picks up her dribble, gets it off to Turnez. Turnez fakes the corner three, dribbles around to the left, shoots it, no good. And out of bounds off the Spartans on the rebound attempt.
Good aggressive move right there. Turnez, knowing that she really couldn't pass it around without risking another turnover, tried to take the ball in her own hands. Couldn't quite capitalize on the play, but still good aggressive movements.
Yeah, Aiden, you like that they tried to shoot over the zone to some degree. They haven't been able to get anything, and I mean anything, inside since the first quarter. Three on the way and counted for McKenna Hampton. Clearwater is shooting the lights out right now from behind the arc.
That is a fourth player on the court for them who has been consistently shooting throughout the night.
Herman, strong hook pass. Chloe Villagomez gets the ball off to Strickland. Strickland pass down to Turnez. Turnez turns it over into the hands of Carlson. Carlson met quickly by Turnez. Turnez unable to tie the ball up. Pass into no man's land and picked up by Strickland. Strickland gets the ball away to Turnez, who will look to set up some kind of offense for the Spartans.
Collegiate looking on to capitalize on the opportunity given to them.
Pass along the baseline. Back out to Chloe Villagomez. Takes a wild shot. Not sure if it was a shot or a pass. Either way, turned over to Potter. Open look in transition, and good for Callie Nolan.
Callie Nolan, new into the game, finds herself wide open for an easy two.
1 minute left in the quarter. Spartans trail by 44, 54-10 the score. Herman with the ball, gets it to Monahan. Monahan back out to Herman, kick now to Monahan. Monahan dribbles the left, looking for baseline. Quickly sealed off, tried to get the pass away to Turnez, but turned it over on the baseline. Yet another turnover for the Spartans.
Collegiate has found themselves in a situation where they're consistently turning it over on every single setup offensive stretch here. They're just once again struggling, trying to find their way in, opting to pass more often than shoot, which is just creating too-on-many opportunities for Clearwater to turn it over.
Pass down court. Smith couldn't get the layup to go. Spartans looking for a transition attempt now. Conrad kicks it back out to Monahan. Monahan, deep pass down court to Turnez. Swung out Conrad. Open three. Had it on line. Missed it short. Chloe Villagomez met by a double team. And it's tipped out of bounds off Clearwater. It'll stay on this end. Spartans inbounding under the basket, looking to get any kind of offense going. They've scored 2 points since the first quarter. Chloe Villagomez gets the ball into Strickland. Strickland puts up the shot, no good, just missed it long.
Yeah, at this point, Clearwater has put out their entire JV squad to compete against these collegiate girls, giving the collegiate girls who are less consistent shooters a lot more opportunities to take wilder shots.
2 seconds left. Clearwater forced to take a shot, no good, off the mark. As that'll send us into the fourth quarter. Still tough sledding for the Spartans offensively as the score runs 54-10 with 8 minutes left in this one.
Yeah, the collegiate girls here just looking a little bit defeated, and it's hard to blame them. They've been absolutely dominated scoring-wise as Clearwater has just gone on an extreme run ever since the first quarter, where they've just been consistently shooting and extremely consistently converting on every single one of Collegiate's turnovers. Honestly, I would argue doing an even better job of converting on the turnovers than even Wellington and McPherson, as both of those teams, once Collegiate's offense is set up, they're doing a good job navigating around it and consistently scoring, whereas this fast-moving Clearwater team is just getting out and ahead of this Collegiate team and scoring extremely consistently on every single Collegiate mistake.
Yeah, not much in it for the Spartans right now other than to just get any kind of points on the board. I mean, when you've only scored 2 since the first half, you've got to get something rolling heading into next week.
Yeah, absolutely. This is just a position in which you don't really care about winning the game as much as it's kind of just leaked away from your hands a little bit, as the score is now 54-10. You're more just looking to set up some more consistent offensive sets, put some more points on the board, just be a little more consistent and well prepared overall going into next week.
Quick pass in for Clearwater. Smith with the high layup gets it to go.
Another
continuing to just get picked apart on defense.
Another player new into the game for Clearwater.
Turn is on the left side, gets it off to Downing. Downing now out to Conrad. Conrad, top of the key, picks it up, looking for options, nearly stolen away. Villagomez falls to the floor, and Conrad comes down with the pass. 2 Spartans fighting for the ball, and it's turned over into the hands of Smith. Clearwater in transition. 3 on the way, stepped into it, just missed the shot from Potter. And Turnez comes down with the rebounds. Spartans looking to move it a little bit slower now. Ball deflected, pass couldn't get inside as Nolan has it out in front of the pack, lays it up and good.
Yeah, once again, that was more of a just mindless mistake, as the ball was passed into a pack of Clearwater Indians. Can kind of be contributed to the fact that these Collegiate Spartans are just looking a little bit defeated out there, as they're getting killed at home. It's just a tough position to be in, much harder to be consistent.
Spartans try to get the pass across court to Downing. Ball on the floor, and jump ball called. It'll stay on this end with the Spartans. Clock has begun to run, given the time and the score, 58-10, with 6:19 left.
Claire Monahan back into the game for the Spartans.
As Julia Herman has stayed out of this game for quite some time, Collegiate is still struggling to find anybody who can make a shot.
Conrad gets the ball into Strickland. Strickland finds Chloe Villagomez. Villagomez dribbling around. Gets it out to Monahan on the right side. Puts up the shot short. Monahan comes down with their own rebound. Kicks it back out to Tatum Downing, who will look to reset the offense. Just loses the handle over the timeline over that called.
Yet another turnover turns the ball back in Clearwater's direction. They've been much less confident in their scoring with this JV squad out here. However, just trying to find anything that can get to go.
Ball passed over the head of a Clearwater player out of bounds, so Spartans will get it. And yeah, Aiden, this game's just been choppy in really all ways. I mean, Clearwater has dominated from the second quarter on, and it's been really all Clearwater since then. It's been,
yeah,
what has it been, a 49-2 run since the end of the first quarter? I mean, absolutely brutal.
Yeah, it's really hard to look at that statistic and see anything good coming out of this Collegiate girls game, as they have gone from having only 3 turnovers in the first quarter to now having 24, as they have just consistently turned the ball over on every single run with the ball. Offensively, these girls are just getting killed trying to get the ball inside or find anybody who can shoot openly.
Downing with the ball, gets it off to Conrad, now to Downing. Downing near the top of the key, now to Conrad. Conrad cross-court pass to Chloe Villagomez, gets it now back to Conrad. Conrad pulls the 3 from the right side, no good. Strickland comes down with the rebound, kicks it back out to Villagomez. Villagomez shot put up, no good. Strickland comes down with the rebound and gets it blocked. Good effort that time by the Spartans, just never able to convert. Like the effort, though, that time by the Spartans, showing a little bit more fight.
Yeah, great rebound effort right there. That's some of the best rebounding we've seen from them all night so far.
Ball into Smith. Smith puts up a high shot, heavily contested, no good. Conrad comes down with the rebound. 4:45 now left in the game. Downey looking to slow things down and set up the offense. Monahan on the right side, kicked around Chloe Villagomez. Villagomez reverses the ball to Monahan. Monahan trying to dribble the right baseline, blocking foul called underneath. It'll be assessed to Potter.
3 round of fouls on number 23, Caitlin Potter, her first.
4 minutes left in this game. Collegiate still trying to break this clearly dominant run by Clearwater, trying to set up anything offensively.
Conrad shot high arcing, no good. Spartans have had a couple of open looks, just haven't been able to convert as jump ball is called and the possession arrow favors the Indians. So now under 4 minutes left to play, the score is still 58-10. Clearwater with the ball now on the right side. Ball passed into Wells. Wells at the top of the key. Gets it into Noland. Noland has it tipped away and stolen by Strickland. Strickland playing with good effort on defense tonight for the Spartans. It's gone after a couple of rebounds as well. Ball out to Conrad. Conrad fakes out defender, gets the pass away to Turnez, gets it now to Strickland. Strickland out to Monahan. Monahan on the left side, kicked back out to Turnez. Turnez now to Conrad. Conrad fakes the shot. A little bit frustrated, pulls the ball back out, gets it to Monahan. And tipped out of bounds off Clearwater defender. It'll stay on this end. Just under 3 minutes left. Shot put up, and the Spartans finally hit pay dirt as Clara Monahan scores the jumper. 58-12, now the score, 2.5 minutes left in the game.
Collegiate finally stops that no-shot streak with finally getting a point up on the board.
Monahan shot put up in transition. Count the basket for Potter. Turnez kicks the ball to Monahan. 3 on the way and good. Monahan with a 5-point streak for the Spartans.
Should have put it in her hands earlier. She realized really anybody at this point can take a shot just with how low it's been. Finally going for it.
Foul called on the shot as Wells was fouled as she went up with it.
Spartan fouls on Lainey Conrad, her second.
Clock is going to continue to click as we have 1 minute and 40 seconds left in this game. Clearwater leading 60 to Collegiate 15.
Wells makes her first free throw.
Chloe Villagomez back into the game for Collegiate.
Collegiate going to start to transfer in more of their varsity squad, trying to move this ball back in their directions, get at least 1 or 2 more points in the rest of this game.
Yeah, and you at least have to feel good about a bit of the shooting from Clara Monahan to rattle off 5 points here in the last minute. We'll also see when the Spartans try to get Kaylee Villagomez out to some applause here on senior night. Just a minute now left in the game. Chloe Villagomez is going to put up the shot from the baseline and gets it to go. Spartans have found the shooting all of a sudden. 62-17 now the score as the Spartans are 3 for 3 on the past 3 attempts.
Yeah, it's a little bit late in the going, but Collegiate finally finding something going on offense.
Ball at the top of the key, passed into Nolan. Can't get the layup to go.
35 seconds left in the game. Collegiate 17, Clearwater 62.
Coach Heath not sending any players to the scorer's table, so likely not going to sub out Kaylee Villagomez here. Just going to let her play it out as we're at 22 seconds now left in the game.
Collegiate
Jump
looking.
ball was called, and now Tatum Downing will head to the bench, and Kaylee Villagomez will come out of the game to a standing ovation.
A big round of applause for Kaylee Villagomez.
Yeah, big round of applause for her, as it is probably one of her last home games for senior night.
Yeah, last home game for her, certainly bittersweet. Certainly not the result you'd like to have. 3 seconds now left on the clock. Downing looking to take one final shot. Deep three on the way, no good. As that'll bring it into this one. The final score 62-17 in what was a tough night for the Spartan offense.
Yeah, absolutely. There's not a whole lot to say. Defense was solid. They did a good job setting up. It's just Clearwater moved a little bit too well in transition, and the offense really couldn't capitalize for most of the game.
Well, that'll put an end to this one. We will be back in about 20 minutes for what will prove to be an exciting boys basketball matchup. Stick around and we'll be back for the start of boys basketball.
On the basketball court in just a moment.
Hello and welcome to the Collegiate Sports Network for tonight's game between the Wichita Collegiate Spartans and the Clearwater Indians. This is the final game of the regular season and senior night at Wichita Collegiate, as pregame festivities have just wrapped up and we're getting ready to play some basketball. On the line tonight for the Spartans, who have won 11 of their last 13 on an absolute hot stretch past the Christmas break, is an outright league championship after a torrid stretch down the final couple of months. Spartans have that on the line tonight. Aiden, what's it going to take for them to finish this one out against a Clearwater team that is residing near the cellar of the league?
Oh, you know what? I talked about it during this last Wellington game, that we're going to have a good night tonight, and I think that's even more true of tonight. The Collegiate Spartans have come out in spades fan-wise to come out for this game. The theme, risky business, student section, pet band, packed audience. We're just really looking forward to this game. Collegiate-wise, however, offensively, we're looking to work A.J. Batiste in, star player of last season and early this season, injured, unfortunately, now getting probably his first minutes in quite a while in a collegiate game. The biggest thing that we have all kind of had on our minds recently is the fact that he's going to have to work his way back into this team. This team has found something that really, really works well for them and is really impressive offensively and defensively, really. And, you know, coming out of a month-and-a-half break, that's a troublesome adjustment even for professional players, much less A.J. Batiste. But if he can work his way back in, that'll make Collegiate all the better. So we're going to be looking out for him all night, kind of working his way into this offense. And kind of just having Collegiate maneuver around and try some new things. We kind of talked about how this is probably going to be one of Collegiate's best matchups for the rest of this season. It's a great opportunity for him to get lots of minutes, and really for Collegiate as a whole to try some things around the arc, try some things that they want to get better at, just do some real risky business and try and work around this Clearwater team. As I'm going to hand it off to Ion Rothi, he's going to tell us a little bit about what we're going to be looking to expect from Clearwater in this game.
Yeah, from Clearwater, I would be expecting a lot of shooting, a lot of perimeter play here from Clearwater, because, I mean, if they get down in the paint, they're not going to be getting any shots up, and they will lose this game very quickly. Collegiate will run away with it very fast, and this is just because I don't think I see a player on Clearwater above 6 foot, and Collegiate has 3 people, all 6'4" and above in the paint, that can be constantly rotating in, even when the starters get tired. So I just don't think they're going to get any shots up whatsoever in the paint. So I expect to see a lot of perimeter shooting from Clearwater. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to be shooting very well from the 3-point line.
Yeah, you know, and that's something we talked about in this last girls matchup that we just had here, and the fact that Collegiate really didn't have any players that could be consistently shooting and really couldn't air out the ball very well, and therefore couldn't operate on offense. And I think that's the issue that Clearwater's going to run into tonight, is having really limited options and fighting for offensive plays when it comes to just player-wise and passing around. It gives too many opportunities to turn over the ball.
As we get ready to get going here from Collegiate, we will take a break for the national anthem and be back for player introductions.
Remove your caps and face the flag as the Wichita Collegiate Admirals, under the direction of Matt Weber, sing our national anthem.
One other point to talk about, guys, as we get ready to get going here, is that the Spartan lineup has been ravaged a little bit by illness these past couple of games. Brett Wetta was a scratch at Wellington after some sickness, and I know Asa Ahmad had come down with a little bit of sickness as well. Robbie Raspberry was unwell, and I think James Shackelford even has been a little bit under the weather for the Spartans. So you're talking about potentially 3 to 4 starters in this game for the Spartans that have been a little bit under the weather at times. We'll certainly see how that affects them, and you know they're going to get the best challenge possible from Clearwater tonight. Certainly can't take this game for granted. You've got to play up to the competition.
Yeah, we talk about how well this team performs, especially at home, and looking at them right now with this crowd just coming out fully in spades. This is probably the biggest crowd we've had since celebrating Coach Spiegel's 600th win. You know, we're just looking forward to a lot of things from this collegiate team tonight.
I think another factor that has been playing bigger recently is the actual crowd for collegiate. The actual student section, I mean, they've been getting it while they've been heckling at the other squad, and I think it's actually been pretty effective coming into this game.
Yeah, you know, Hyon, and on the other side, too, Clearwater brought a big crowd from their student section. Might be a little bit of fun back and forth tonight between the two teams.
Yeah, seriously here. And with one of the biggest things in this collegiate team being consistency and kind of getting in the right headspace later in the game, I think you're exactly spot on, Hyon, when it comes to this crowd, kind of getting into it, being loud, getting collegiate constantly in the right headspace. It contributes hugely to this team's performance, especially in the later parts of the game.
Getting ready to get going here from collegiate. Both teams back to their benches as we are getting ready to tip the ball off. David Chege had started. He will now be coming off the bench in favor of Brett Wetta, who is now back in for the Spartans after missing that last game due to sickness. Spartans will be happy to have him back in, especially on defense. He provides them with so much on that end of the court.
Yeah, absolutely. As we're looking to tip off, same starting squad we've had all year. All of our seniors here out on the court representing earlier into the senior night.
Ball tipped by Heinz Turner, gets it out to Shackelford. Spartans once again control the first possession of the game. They seem to be winning a lot of those tips. Ahmad with the ball at the top of the key, swung back. Now out to Wetta on the right side. Ahmad swings it back around to Raspberry, now on the left. Raspberry takes one dribble, gives it back to Ahmad. Spartans weaving the ball around the perimeter right now, looking for a good opportunity. Ball into Raspberry on the left side, dribbled in, was stopped. In pass to Shackelford, dribbles against his defender, kicked out to Wetta. Wetta in pass, kicked back out. Ahmad kicked back out now. Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner. Long court pass. Wetta kicked out. Shackelford open three, rimmed out. Raspberry skies down with the rebound, contact as he went up, instead blocked away, out of bounds. It'll stay on this end for the Spartans.
Yeah, and Clearwater playing some pretty good defense. You know, I expected Collegiate to just get the ball inside, considering that Clearwater has a massive disadvantage on height. So we'll see what they do on this first possession. That's already taken up so many seconds off the clock.
Ball into Shackelford. Shackelford now on the right side, looking for Ahmad, finds him at the top of the key, swung back out. Shackelford, Raspberry, bit of a wild pass, able to corral it. Now Ahmad at the near half court. Ahmad swung back to Raspberry. Raspberry now to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner on the right side, trying to size up his defender, turns the corner, gets around him, help defense comes, kicks it back. Ahmad, top of the key, three, no good. Heinz Turner comes down with the rebound, putback is good.
Yeah, great point there, Ion, about this Clearwater defense. However, we saw the Collegiate Spartans a couple open three opportunities. I think that's going to come back to bite Clearwater later in the game when we have some more consistent shooters like Drummy out on the court.
In the front court for Clearwater, ball turned over. Kirby traveled with it, so quick pressure paying dividends for the Spartans.
Yeah, Collegiate responds to good defense by even better defense, forcing the travel.
Spartans easily able to break the press. Raspberry met with the double team at half court, gets in, and Shackelford knifes his way all the way through to the lane and takes it to the rack.
That was a troublesome one. Went up against two defenders, got it to go.
Clearwater trying to move quickly in transition. Ball tipped out of bounds. Right off of Fisher, going the Spartans' way once again. The Spartans hounding the Indians on defense.
Yeah, that full court pressure is paying dividends.
Yeah, and Fisher just wasn't able to corral it with two people on him at the end of the baseline.
Maud gets the ball right back from Weta. Kick to Hines Turner, out to Raspberry. 3 on the way, right side, no good. Shackelford cleans it up, gets it to go with a foul.
Man, Collegiate has been cleaning up off the glass recently. Great job recovering rebounds, not even from our tallest guys. Guys like James Shackelford, Robbie Raspberry, Brett Weta also consistently getting rebounds and putting it back up, cleaning it up for points.
I think we're starting to see the disadvantage here for Clearwater. They just have not been able to get a single board in this game, already 2 minutes in.
Shackelford trying to convert the three-point play at the line. Drains it. Spartans now employing the full court press. Clearwater struggling to get the ball in. Ball tipped from Fisher. He's able to re-secure it. Gets the ball off in the corner to Kirby. Kirby all the way into the lane. Knifes in. Can't get the wild layup to go. Bit of a hook shot. Weta loses it. Raspberry able to recover. Hines Turner now on the other side of the court. Gets it out to Ahmad. Now to Weta. Weta knifes into the lane from the elbow. Gets it to go.
Man, these Collegiate guys are on fire right now. It seems as though they can't miss with the crowd at their backs.
And quick timeout called by Clearwater and Coach Jonathan Dickstall.
That was a lucky timeout there as the pass was picked off by Brett Weta.
That was almost certainly going to be 2 points going the other way for Collegiate, and they've already built up a 9-0 lead currently with only about 2.5 minutes going into it. So I don't know how Clearwater is going to respond, because this board's disadvantage is I just think it's too much to overcome. I don't think they're going to be able to break out of it, because, I mean, we saw it with even the little guys on our team, like, well, not little, but the guys who aren't even the biggest of them all. We saw James Shackelford just rise up over the guy in the post and get the rebound. I mean, I don't know what to do if you're Clearwater here. Just hope you can get some threes up and pray that they miss their layups.
Well, and you guys talked about the size of these two teams.
And AJ Batiste comes back out on the court since before Christmas for the first time.
Good call, Aiden. AJ Batiste onto the court for the Spartans. Kirby gets the ball in. Now Bergkamp fighting to get the ball across half court. Guarded by Batiste. Met by a double team with Hines Turner. Gets the ball back away to Bergkamp. Bergkamp swung out on the perimeter to Edwards. Edwards tried to get the pass in. Deflected away. Drumright with the ball into Hines Turner. Batiste rises for the layup. Gets it to go with the foul. Heck of a way to introduce herself back into action as AJ Batiste gets the layup to go with a foul.
Yeah, he's quick to fight his way back in here, proving to everybody out here wondering how he is coming out after the injury, proving that he is still here, still as valuable of a player as ever.
AJ Batiste looking like he hasn't missed a step as he puts a nice move on in transition, looking to convert the three-point play. Shot up and just rattled out. Clearwater now trying to move quickly off the rebound. Edwards moving. Gets the in pass to Kirby. Kirby lays it up and good. Nice cut to the basket for Kirby. That's the first two of the night for Clearwater. The score now 11-2 in favor of the Spartans, who lead by 9. Hines Turner gets across court to Grace. Grace knifes through two defenders. Out to Batiste. Batiste rises over two defenders. Can't get the shot to go. A little over-aggressive that time from Batiste. That's something we'll be wanting to watch as this game goes on.
That was the first rebound that Clearwater has gotten all night.
Yeah, Collegiate kind of cleared out there high on. Edwards now on the left side. Hands it back off to Kirby at the top of the key. Kirby dribbling against Grace. Kirby met by a double team, kicks it back off to Burford. Burford puts the shot up against Chege, who got called for the foul. Chege kind of stood there after the shot was put up, and the whistle was called a little bit late, but Chege even knew it was a foul. That was pretty obvious.
Yeah, let's talk about this Collegiate offense really quick. We saw something that we haven't seen all season so far with Jack Grace and Carter Drumright on the court. Usually, Collegiate's very content to pass around and try and get it outside to them as he misses his first shot. But in this case, with AJ Batiste on the court, it kind of did end up switching up their strategy a little bit. We saw a little bit more of aggression, less shooting, but more willing to drive up in the lane.
And another thing that AJ Batiste actually adds to this offense is that he's able to stretch the court vertically, and we saw that with his great speed.
Second free throw missed in transition. Batiste nearly had the ball stripped away. Instead regathers, gets it to Shackelford, now to Grace. Grace met by a double team, nearly tied up, out to Shackelford, now near top of the key. Gets it out to Drumright, left corner, now out to Grace, top of the key. Grace swings it around to Drumright. Drumright looking for options, now back to Grace. 2-3 zone set up for the Indians. Grace at the top of the key. Now out to Shackelford. Batiste On the right corner, now to Chege. Chege met by double team, kicks it back out to Batiste. Spartans struggling to get the ball inside. Now out to Grace on the left side. Drum right, fakes around a defender, gets it to Grace, drives baseline, left side, wild layup, no good, nothing in that one.
Yeah, and as I was saying, A.J. Batiste's ability to stretch the floor vertically is what makes him so great for this offense.
Block by David Chege in transition, and a blocking foul called on Clearwater as insult to injury. Edwards got run over by Batiste as he tried to block him.
Yeah, and we saw these fast breaks happening without AJ, and they were able to execute them flawlessly with people like Carter, Drumright. But AJ's ability to get up over defenders and finish with a strong layup package is what separates him from other people, and I think that's what can help bring this offense to new levels.
Batiste checks back out of the game for the Spartans. Shackelford kicks it to Grace. Corner three on the way. No good. Missed it off the back iron. And Bergkamp comes down with the rebound.
Clearwater getting some more opportunities than they did earlier on to set up the offense and get some more points on the board.
Ball into Trent Fisher. Now Bergkamp. Bergkamp momentarily thought about the three. Instead back out to Raspberry behind the back pass and finds a cutting Aiden Snell. He gets the basket with a foul.
That was a great move right there. He found himself open. Collegiate quick to collapse, but couldn't quite get to him in time as he just laid it up right there and easy. That was a mistake right there by Collegiate defense. They kind of squished in on the arc, unable to see the move around the back.
Spartan offense has slowed the past couple of minutes. 11-5 now the score. Shackelford with the ball, trying to break the press. Deep pass down court to Raspberry, accurately thrown. Shackelford, jump pass out to Raspberry, now gets it to Weta. Drumright thought about the three, instead gets it to Shackelford, dribbles baseline, rises over defender, no good. Cyrus comes down with the rebound, fighting for a second chance, kicks it out to Weta. Weta on the right elbow, gets around a defender, puts up the shot, no good. Cyrus, third chance, no good. And Clearwater comes down with the rebound, fighting in transition and turned over. Just mental mistake that time from the Indians, gives the ball right back to the Spartans.
Man, I felt every muscle in my body tensing every time Judah Cyrus got that rebound right there. He did a great job, rose over multiple Clearwater defenders, just picked the ball right out of the air.
Ahmad easily able to break the press, gets it up to Weta. Weta thought about getting it over a defender. Instead, ball trickles out to Shackelford. Shackelford, jump stop, tries to get it over a defender, and just turns it over. Shackelford got a little over-aggressive in the lane, trying to do too much.
Yeah, and the way Clearwater is playing their defense is that they're running this zone, which has also a double team aspect to it, to where whoever's in the paint just has 2 or 3 people constantly on them.
Yeah, it's one of those collapsing kind of mesh zones high on, and a lot of teams like to use that against the Spartans. You don't want to let them get the ball inside as Clearwater travels with it, leading to another turnover.
And I think it's especially effective for Clearwater because they don't have a lot of big guys on the inside. And we saw it was effective when Judah was getting the boards and wasn't able to finish. They are definitely harassing the guys on the inside, and I think it's been effective so far.
Yeah, absolutely. If you don't have the size, you better put numbers on him. Foul on the other side of the court in transition. Hold called on a Clearwater player. It's going to be assigned to Burford.
And that now puts Collegiate in... Oh, excuse me, it does not put Collegiate in the bonus. Puts them at 4 fouls. Clearwater finding themselves in a little bit of foul trouble at this point.
Ball kicked out to Weddiff on the baseline pass from Ahmad. Ahmad in the right corner gets it to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner sizing up a defender, kicks it out Cyrus on the high post. Now to Weta. Raspberry, long two, no good. Weta fighting for the rebound, tips it to Ahmad. Nice effort for the Spartans. Ahmad never really had a handle, turns it over to Jaden Fisher. Jaden Fisher in transition, lays it up. Nice roll off the glass.
Man, great move by him. He had Robbie Raspberry, Asa Ahmad, and Judah Cyrus on his tail. Managed to get that layup to go.
Yeah, just got out enough to barely put the ball over the rim. It was a nice roll, though, shooter's touch. Cyrus goes up for the layup. Good pass from Ahmad. Foul called as he went up. Never had a chance to actually muscle through the contact, though, so he'll go to the charity stripe for 2 free ones.
That's a great distribute right there by Asa Ahmad. He saw his guy, got it into him perfectly. Nothing really Clearwater could do in that situation other than get that foul.
Cyrus at the line for the first free throw. Just rolls out.
A problem for Collegiate early is that they have not been able to convert on their free throws so far. They've been getting a lot of and ones and a lot of free shots at the foul line, but they haven't been able to convert them. They would probably be up by like 8, but now they're only up by 4 because they can't convert.
Cyrus gets second free throw to go. 12-7 now the score. Just under 2 minutes left in the first period.
Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of Shaquille O'Neal syndrome where you can clean it up, rebounds, and in the glass, but it's really hard to make those free throws from those bigger guys.
Jaden Fisher now with the ball. Takes it up top of the key. Crowd a little bit quiet now for the Spartans. Steal, though, taken by Judah Cyrus. Carter Drum right now with the ball. Pulls the three from the right side. Fouled and gets the basket to go. 4-point play for Carter Drumright.
That's that shooting we love to see from our guy. Contested shot, forced back with the foul, still gets it to go. You know he can always make it when the time is right.
Drumright, as always, with ice in his veins from behind the arc. Such a consistent shooter.
Asa already setting up the defense for this next play, calling to his coach, getting the right players on the court, already setting up for the turnaround.
Drumright at the line, converts the 4-point play. Big momentum possession for the Spartans, who had lost a little bit of their juice, and Drumright now steals it away and is fouled, and he'll go to the line for two as the Spartans are now over the bonus.
Oh, and that's the last guy on this collegiate team you want to be sending to the line. Of all the guys, he is probably the most consistent shooter from the free throw line.
Drumright doing it all for the Spartans right now, just a dogged effort on both ends of the court. Going to the line for the first free throw. Good.
Carter Drumright on himself, able to turn a 4-point lead to 10. Just incredible work here from Carter Drumright.
Now looking to make it 11. Rattles in, shooter's touch for Carter Drumright. 18-7 now the score for the Spartans on an electric run by Carter Drumright alone. Edwards has the ball, kicks it out to Fisher. 3 on the way, no good. Drumright comes down with the rebound in transition. Now gets it to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner threw it to Chege, who he thought was cutting, and Chege just stopped. Ball thrown immediately out of bounds.
Yeah, just a miscommunication there. Chege was looking to set a backwards screen there for Heinz Turner to get a free lane to the hoop. Heinz Turner thought that Chege was going to stop and get the pass for the easy layup. Just a miscommunication.
Yeah, somebody had an easy layup there, and instead the ball got thrown out of bounds.
Yeah, from my perspective, that pass was right to the cheerleaders.
Kirby lays it up and in. Bit of a breakdown on defense that time for the Spartans as they got pushed up high.
Yeah, that's the symptom of that full court pressure.
Ball tipped away from Ahmad in the backcourt, regathered though up court by Chege. Ball tipped out to Drumright, 3 on the way, no good. Missed it from the left side. Heinz Turner rips away the rebound and gets the second chance to go.
That's exactly what they want in an offensive strategy. Guy to clean it up always.
Edwards moves it up to Burford, now gets it back. Burford in the lane, absolutely bowls over Ahmad. Charge called.
Yeah, Ahmad knew he couldn't get over him, so he thought get under him, stand in for that charge, and that was a great move by him there. As the Clearwater fans are calling for the refs to calm down a little bit, as the calls have been in Collegiate's favor, but in reality, I think that can be attributed to Collegiate's just smart play style right there. That was all Asa Ahmad on that charge. He stood in perfectly.
Fiegel looking for a towel or something here. He's pointing to somebody. Might have been pointing even to a Clearwater player. Not entirely sure what that was about.
They're looking to clean up the sweat from the charge as Asa Ahmad was taken to the floor, as Asa Ahmad and Coach Fiegel are conferencing to try and set up this next offensive play, as Asa Ahmad, you know, all season so far has been the perfect distributor, acting like a second coach on the court.
Ahmad gets right through a double team off to Batiste, who tried to dunk it, and he's going to get called for a technical. Oh my. He tried to hang on the rim and put it back in.
A technical. Coach Fiegel not mad at his player, more mad at the ref on that one. Interesting call there, as he was hanging on the rim, tried to put it back in for himself.
Yeah, I understand that that's offensive goaltending, because it certainly was. You can't have the ball bounce back up off the rim and try to put it back in. For hanging on the rim, though, I mean, that didn't seem too excessive to me. Either way, it'll be 2 free throws with the technical and possession. For the Clearwater Indians, Jaden Fisher will get sent to the line to shoot the 2 technicals.
Yeah.
First one misses back iron. Score stays 20-9.
Typically, that's not what you want to see from a collegiate player just getting back into the game, but really all you can see right now are chuckles from even the coaching staff.
And Fisher misses both of his technical free throws, so Clearwater, who certainly needed those free throws, down by 11, misses both. They will get the possession, though. Fisher gets the pass right away to Edwards, nearly had it stolen away. Instead gets it out Jaden Fisher. Back controlling the point, guarded by Hines Turner. Picks up his dribble, looking for help. Ahmad in to pick it off. Spartans had a moment of transition there. No longer, though. Drumright kicks it back to Ahmad. Ahmad knifes all the way into the lane, just left it short at the buzzer. Ahmad frustrated with himself at that one. Had a wide open look at the bucket, just the teardropper a little bit short. But a good quarter for the Spartans as they lead 20-9 after 8 minutes.
Yeah, when you're talking about something that you want to see from offensively this collegiate team, that is exactly it. They did a great job distributing around, especially to Carter Drumright. And when it wasn't that, they were doing a good job cleaning up. Sebastian Hines Turner and Judah Cyrus with some notable looks in that regard. And then finally, AJ Batiste letting his presence be known early into this game, seamlessly working into this offensive strategy as he's willing to drive to the net, not always going for the points, but instead passing it out and acting like Asa Ahmad a little bit, distributing the ball well to his outer guys who can go for the shots.
I think that this has just been a pretty good game all around. I mean, Collegiates played well up until this point. They ran into a little bit of adversity after the first time out there from Clearwater. They were only up 4, but that electric run from Carter Drumright just to get the lead up all the way to 10. And Collegiate had their groove back for the rest of the quarter. I just think it was a great play from Collegiate all around. If they are able to maintain this defensive advantage over Clearwater, I think it'll be easy pickings for them to win this game.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot, that size advantage for Collegiate, really big. They've been able to take advantage of it for most of this game, although at times they've struggled to dump the ball inside and have had to rely on a little bit more outside shooting or drives to the rim.
Yeah, absolutely. As we get started back here, Clearwater looking a little bit frustrated with themselves, as any team would in this situation, as they are now losing by 11 points, trying to find anything on offense, as the turnovers have absolutely plagued them so far, 8 on the night.
Ball right into Kirby, has it blocked away by Cyrus. Kirby had an open lane to the basket. Cyrus cut him off from behind, though. Shackelford now gets the ball into Cyrus, kicked back out Drumright. Drumright thought about the 3, instead gets it out Shackelford. Shackelford now out top of the key, gets it to Drumright. 3 on the way, rattles out. Rebound tipped out of bounds off Brett Wetta. It'll be going Clearwater's way. If you're Clearwater, though, talking about the disadvantage that they're at now by 11 points, as the deep pass down court finds the hands of Edwards as he's fouled by Drumright. Talking about Clearwater, though, down by 11 right now, you got to tell yourself that it's only one quarter. There's certainly time to reset in this one. And if you're the Spartans, you kind of have to keep that foot on the gas and keep the offense humming. Ball in, kicked out, and deflected out of bounds, I believe, off Shackelford.
Shackelford tried to get into the passing lane there, just managed to knock it out, as that would have been an open 3 for number 24.
Fisher gets the ball into Edwards. Edwards now kicks it to Kirby. Kirby gets one defender to jump, now gets it to Edwards. Edwards trying to back down Drumright, and a blocking foul called on him. That's 2 fouls in about 15 seconds for Carter Drumright.
Yeah, Carter Drumright trying to maneuver himself through this Clearwater offense, as Clearwater offense has just known what they were doing a little bit better, managed to get out and catch Carter Drumright lacking just a little bit.
An offensive foul called right away on Clearwater, trying to get the ball in.
Clearwater fouls on Braden Berkey at his second.
And if you're Clearwater, you just can't waste that possession. I mean, now, if I'm Clearwater, I'm going all out because you're down 11. There's no Carter Drumright on the floor to threaten anything from Major from 3, so I think they have to.
In pass to Cyrus, lays it up off the glass and good.
As I was saying, I think they need to push it now and try and get this lead close.
Nice cutting action for the Spartans to get the ball inside for an easy 2. Kirby now driving the lane against 2 defenders, fouled by Brett Wetta. Wetta comes up holding his mouth a little bit. Might have gotten popped. It looks like Mason Bond is going to head to the scorer's table to check in.
Yeah, he's been getting a lot more minutes since the beginning of the season throughout, becoming a very reliable shooter and kind of complement to Carter Drumright on the outside of the arc.
First free throw misses from Kirby as the struggles continue right now for Clearwater from the line. Kirby trying to convert the second free throw, rolls out. Unfortunate miss that time for Clearwater. Bond now controlling point for the Spartans. Kicks back out Shackelford, top of the key, now back to Ahmad, swung back to Shackelford. Shackelford dribbling the lane, rises against a defender, jumper is good.
That was a wild jumper from pretty far, still gets it to go.
Had his feet under him, though, the whole time as Clearwater just turns it over. Completely uncontested, unforced error that time for the Indians, as the Spartans are going to get the ball right back.
And one of the things about Mason Bond is why I think he's so valuable is because, as I said earlier, they took the major threat from beyond the arc and Carter Drumright out, but they inserted one in there with Mason Bond. So I think that's what he provides, which is great depth from the bench and an actual killer from three. And I just think that if Mason Bond continues to get these type of minutes, oh boy, Collegiate's going to be very dangerous.
Absolutely. When we talk about this collegiate offense, we have a couple of key set kind of players. We have that kind of slasher that moves in, takes those jumpers when necessary. That's the kind of player that is basically all of our seniors, plus AJ Batiste and Sebastian Hines-Turner. We have those guys who are jumping the big bodies for those rebounds, putting it back in. That's Judas Cyrus, David Chege, and Sebastian Hines-Turner. And finally, we have those shooter guys that make this collegiate team such a danger. And that's what draws the defense away from the inside and forces them to play around the arc. And that is exactly as you said, just adding so much depth to that makes it so much more dangerous. So adding players like Jack Grace and Mason Bond to that mix just makes for such a dangerous offensive scheme.
Spartans ball.
Spartans with the ball out of the timeout. Same lineup as before. Shackelford, Chege, Hines-Turner, Bond, and Ahmad on the court for the Spartans. Bond has it on the right side, gets it to Ahmad, now to Shackelford. Shackelford dribbles in momentarily, kicks it back out to Ahmad. Ahmad dribbles right off to Bond. Into Chege. Chege against two defenders. Wild shot, just tomahawks it off the backboard and in.
Yeah, Chege knew he had the opportunity to take that shot, and he did.
Bergkamp now with the ball, sizing up Ahmad into the lane. On the left block, kicks it out to Kirby, palmed by Hines-Turner on the block, out of bounds, off Clearwater on the rebound. Spartan ball once again. Spartan defense holding incredibly strong this quarter. Deep pass down court to Bond, finds his feet. Gets it back to Ahmad, now Shackelford. Shackelford jump stop into Ahmad. Ahmad jump pass, Hines-Turner, easy layup. Hines-Turner cut behind the defense.
And the lead is up to 19.
Kirby with the ball, fighting Bond, now met by a double team with Hines-Turner on him. Kirby gets the ball across the timeline. Kirby knifes into the paint, fouled as he went up for it. Tried to take a Euro step against two defenders. He'll get two from the charity stripe.
Yeah, that's bound to happen right there. He drove up in against two defenders, tried to take that Euro step. Collegiate just getting a little bit jumpy, get a little bit too aggressive, swiping down and moving when trying to set the screen.
Kirby at the line for one, misses the first.
But it really doesn't matter, as Clearwater has been entirely inconsistent with free throws.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to talk about. Both these teams have just been shooting terrible from the charity stripe today. I mean, I don't know what's going on. I mean, I thought if you're Clearwater, you have to make these free shots. You're not going to get very many of them against a strong defense like Collegiate.
Second one goes. Kirby able to get off the schneid from the line. Hines-Turner now kicks it out to Bond, takes the quick three. Good. Mason Bond drains the three.
Boom, just proving that depth is real. A bunch of consistent shooters.
As the "he's a freshman" chant comes from the student section, Bond has impressed in the second half of the season, jumping all the way up to the varsity team and contributing solid minutes with great defense and good shooting. One of those nice 3-and-D guys that you can rely on. Hines-Turner comes down with the rebound after Clearwater gets a quick miss.
Oh, another technical foul in this game.
Number 30, Weston Burford.
That'll be against number 30, Weston Burford. Not
Now,
quite.
yeah, technical foul on Clearwater. This one's on Burford. Not entirely sure what it was for. I didn't see anything. I don't know if you saw anything, Aiden.
I
but
had my eyes on that game the whole time. He must have said something that was within hearing reach of the refs, as he didn't really do anything physically that stood out as a technical foul.
Yeah, and usually the technical's not going to be a push or anything like that, although certainly it can be, but that's usually a flagrant. Like you said, though, he must have said something that the officials heard and didn't like. Heinz Turner makes the first technical, now at the line for the second, drains that one too. And so the Spartans get a free two and will now have the ball.
I've said this all night, but Clearwater, you got to take advantage of what you have, and you can't give them free shots. They're down 23, and that technical foul, it's only going to make morale worse here for Clearwater. They have to be able to make sure they keep composed and stay in this game.
Bond dribbles off to the left, gets it down to Raspberry. Raspberry dump-off pass to Batiste, who double clutches and gets it to go on the layup. Nice move from Batiste. Kirby dribbling in against two defenders, reaching, foul called on the floor.
And that'll be the fifth foul, as with only 4 minutes and 39 seconds left, Clearwater finds themselves in the bonus. This is exactly what Collegiate doesn't want in this scenario, is a point where, as with them carrying such a high lead against this Clearwater team, them to get any kinds of points with the clock not running.
Yeah, with those free throws, though, Clearwater can't seem to really hit as Kirby misses yet another. Second one on the way, missed that one too off the back iron. As Batiste tips the rebound and finds the hands of Heinz Turner. Batiste now moving quickly in transition, going against a defender, blocking foul called as Batiste rose for the layup.
Yeah, AJ, although he got the foul to go, a little bit disappointed with himself. He could tell from the looks of his other players that he didn't quite read the offense quite right. In that situation, you don't really want to drive up against multiple defenders. You want to take it back and air it out just a little bit. But that kind of aggression is good, as he picks up his 5th point in the first game of this part of the season.
Yeah, Aiden, I can't say I love that move in transition by Batiste. He was kind of walled off in the lane, and frankly, he was a little bit lucky he didn't get called for a charge there. I'm just not sure the Clearwater defender was completely set. That's the only reason he didn't get called for one. Ball called out of bounds off Collegiate. It should stay on this end for Clearwater. Going back to AJ Batiste, though, not the best drive. A little bit of a selfish move downhill to the paint.
Yeah,
fortunately, paid off for him that time. Oh, but you want to try to move with the offense, as we were talking about. 3 on the way from Kirby, drains it.
Yeah, but the thing with AJ is that's just going to come with growing pains. I mean, he hasn't played for a while, so, I mean, I understand it. He's trying to get his points. He's trying to get in the groove, so I understand it.
Yeah, it's a good point, Hyon. That's why he's getting these minutes in this game. Batiste rises for the dunk, can't get it to go. Lost a little bit of spring in that step. Should probably focus on just laying it up next time. He's missed 2 dunks in this one. Trying to get a big statement dunk back in action here as he's back for the first time since Christmas. Just doesn't quite have the legs under him, though, it seems like, to quite finish off those dunks.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you, though, seeing as that's how he got his injury in the first place off of a misplaced dunk. If you're Coach Fiegel, you are reassuring the fact that you never want to do that again.
Yeah, kind of squirm a little bit when he goes up that high for a dunk, knowing that he got injured the previous time doing it. Collegiate turns the ball over in the half court as Clearwater is going to have the possession right back now. Edwards at the top of the key going against Raspberry. Edwards, Heinz Turner nearly onto the passing lane. Set the ball in the hands of Bergkamp. Bergkamp trying to find a cutting Fisher. Turns, shoots, got the basket to go. 36-14 the score. 3.5 minutes left in the first half. Grace gets the quick pass away to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner to Raspberry. Raspberry dump off pass to Batiste. High shot off the glass, no good. Batiste tries to come down with his own shot. Instead, it's deflected out of bounds to Clearwater.
Yeah, Collegiate offense right now in a little bit of a disarray since that AJ Batiste play with a quick turnover and that possession, which was just all around messy. New people are subbed in, so hopefully they'll be able to get back right on track.
Mass substitutions for the Spartans. 4 new players into the game. It's Shackelford, Ahmad, Weta, and Cyrus. Bergkamp with the ball at the top of the key. Gets it off to Fisher. Fisher trying to set up some offense for Clearwater. They've hit a little bit of a groove these last couple of possessions, have struggled since then. Or up to then, I should say. Kirby with the ball, tries to knife into the paint and traveled with it as he felt no jump ball called. They'll say it was tied up. Possession arrow does favor the Spartans, so they will get the ball.
Clearwater players clearly looking a bit frustrated with themselves, as typically they can drive in the lane pretty easily, but that hand just came down and stripped the ball away from Judah Cyrus.
Weta tried to drive into the lane, had it poked away from behind, out of bounds. Spartans will inbound under the basket.
Good defensive move right there to disrupt Collegiate. Didn't want to give them any too open opportunities.
Shackelford, runner in the lane, gets it to go. Nice shot from Shackelford, well composed.
Speaking of open opportunities, great move by Shackelford.
Cyrus bumps Edwards just past half court. Gets called for the foul. Second foul on Cyrus. Certainly not what Fiegel would like to see early in this one. Certainly want to keep Cyrus in there as long as you can, either he or Chege.
Is it just me, or have I seen Clearwater at the line a lot? And they haven't been able to convert, except they did make that one. But, I mean, if I'm Clearwater,
The reverse jinx hit that time.
if I'm Clearwater, I'm down 23. What adjustments are we thinking at halftime? I mean, obviously you're at a massive disadvantage on the boards and defensively when you can't get into the paint and get a rebound. Even offensively, you can't get into the paint and get a free layup up. So if you're Clearwater, what do you guys think we should do?
I don't know if there's much you can do. I think you got to pressure the ball a little bit better, though. That'd be one spot to start. If you can force a couple of turnovers, that puts you in a better spot. In pass to Chege, lays it up, reverse off the glass, gets it to go. Nice move by David Chege underneath the basket.
Didn't quite have the angle on the first opportunity, so he took the second.
Fisher, hesitation step, couldn't get the layup to go. Asa Ahmad now running the other way quickly. Spins on the baseline, tried to get the pass off to Chege. Blocking foul called underneath on Snell.
That'll be a blocking foul. However, Collegiate looks more frustrated than Clearwater in that situation.
And that'll put Clearwater over the limit, so Spartans going to the line for 2 shots. Ahmad will take them. First shot on the way, misses off the back iron. Both teams struggling from the charity stripe in this one.
Yeah, seriously, if there's anything to take away from that game, more than offense, defense, rebounds, anything, so many opportunities for free throws throughout the game not made.
Ahmad's second one on the way, missed that one as well. Heinz Turner fighting for the rebound underneath massive bodies. Heinz Turner comes out with it. Gets it back to Ahmad. Ahmad now to Shackelford. Touch pass to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner kicks it around. Shackelford takes the 3 right side. No good. Rebound fought for out of bounds off Clearwater. Off of Street.
Yeah, in this situation, Collegiate looking to inbound. They don't have any more of their consistent shooters right now, but what they do have is Sebastian Heinz Turner and James Shackelford.
No look pass on the inbounds to Chege. Just missed the layup, rolled out, and over the back called on Chege as he tried to come down with the rebound.
As Asa's going to conference with Coach Fiegel, trying to set up the offense just a little bit, as Chege is going to come out for AJ Batiste most likely. They're trying to set something up, get something to go here, as another free throw opportunity for Clearwater comes up. Number 12 going to be taking them.
Bergkamp gets the first one to go, and as we talked about with Judah Cyrus with his 2 fouls, not a situation you want to have. Now David Chege also with 2 of his own. So the Spartans with a little bit of foul trouble down low. That could be something that Clearwater looks to take a little bit of advantage of. Second free throw misses from Bergkamp. Shackelford comes away with the rebound. He's trailing the play as he has the ball stripped. Edwards comes down with it. One-handed pass easily picked off by Heinz Turner. 2-on-1 down the other side of the court. No-look pass to Batiste. Misled him a little bit on the pass. It was a late layup, but he got pushed as he went up for it. He'll get 2 from the free throw line.
Yeah, and this is one of Collegiate's best offensive outings I think I've seen all season. I mean, they are going to put up, barring any free throw mishaps, 42 points here.
Batiste first free throw, good.
They're going to put up 42 points here with 1 minute and 46 seconds left in the first half. I mean, this is just one of the best offensive outings I've seen so far, and I want to see them continue this into the second half, push 70, maybe even 80 points in the second half.
Yeah, Spartans have been sharing the ball really well as Batiste gets the second one to go as well. Spartans fighting for a double team. Ball tipped off the leg of Batiste. Might have been out of bounds off Kirby. Batiste seemed to think so. Instead, it's out of bounds off the Spartans. They're going to employ that full court press, though, once again. Ball into Edwards. Gets it out to Fisher. Good move that time by Clearwater to break the press. Weta tips the ball away and steals it.
Good move by Weta there defensively.
3-on-3 in transition. Spartans pull the ball back out. Batiste knifing into the lane against 3 defenders. Fouled as he went up with it. Batiste getting a little bit of tunnel vision once again going towards the lane. He's bailed out by a foul.
Yeah, that's his play style. That's how he's used to playing in these kinds of situations where he can take it up on his own. But I don't think he's fully grasped the idea that he's no longer collegiate's sole option for offensive moves. Pretty much everybody on the court right now, barring some of our players, have gotten points in this game. In fact, we have 4 players with more than 5 points in this scenario, and more than 8 players that have points on the board right now. So, he's just got to get out of that habit of tunnel vision.
Batiste misses both free throws. Ball goes out to Edwards, gets it into Kirby. Kirby in transition, can't get it to go off the glass. Weta in transition, gets it up to Batiste. Batiste up and under layup, count it. Nice move by Batiste in transition. That's where you like to see him cut one-on-one to the basket. It's when he goes against 3 defenders that you start to question the move, but one-on-one in transition is where he is golden. Foul in the backcourt as Clearwater tried to sell out for a steal. Mason Bond is fouled, and he'll go to the line. Not to take away from the game that A.J. Batiste has had. He's scored 9 in his return just in the first half. Certainly an impressive production from him. But the main thing that the Spartans are wanting to see from him is good team play. And you like to think that he will be able to integrate into this offense effectively and be able to run the offense that Fiegel has gotten to run so well in the second half of the season.
Yeah, something I've noticed a little bit more, however, from this collegiate team, now that I've gotten to take a closer look at them with a little bit of help from my associate here, High On, I get a little more time to look down at how these players are interacting with their coaches. It's an interesting dynamic offensively. You see Asa Ahmad basically acting as though a coach on the court here, setting up the offense, interacting with the coach before every defensive and offensive play possible, kind of setting it up, while the other players are kind of interacting with Asa Ahmad as kind of a converter here to kind of push through the coach's recommendations and coach's movements here. It's a great mobile strategy that's worked really well for them.
Yeah, and I mean, just looking at it, Asa Ahmad, you may not see it on the stat sheet, but he does so much more out there on the court. He's calling all the plays. He knows what to do. He's being able to pass the ball in bounds. He's being able to pass the ball and facilitate all around the court. And another thing that's very underrated about Asa's game is his defense. He's been getting a lot of steals, and he's been getting a lot of pressures on these players coming up through half court, and that's forcing them to make bad decisions and throw the ball into steals and turnovers. So I think Asa has been great for us today, but we don't see it on the stat sheet.
Yeah, High On, a lot to be said about a senior point guard that can really lead a team. Like you said, Aiden, he's like a coach on the court, truly a floor general that can lead this offense. And even if he's not scoring the ball a lot, he's doing a lot of other things out there. Bond misses the first free throw. Second one on the way also misses. Raspberry fighting for the rebound, comes down with it against 3 Indians. Gets it out to Grace. Grace now to Shackelford. Shackelford kicks it to Bond. 3 on the way. Good! Mason Bond atones for the 2 missed free throws.
Second 3 of the night, now 6 points up.
46 seconds left. Ball stolen away in the half court. Hines Turner one-on-one in transition, lays it up off the glass. Smooth move in transition that time by Hines Turner. 36 seconds now left on the clock. Spartans lead 49-17. Fisher gets the ball in. Going against Hines Turner. Charge called. Elbow. Maybe used that time by Burford. Just kind of used that wing a little bit.
Offensive foul on Weston Burford, his 4th.
Shackelford gets the pass in from Raspberry. Now shovels it back to Raspberry. Raspberry breaks the timeline, met by a double team reach-in foul called on Jaden Fisher, and Spartans will be heading to the line on that one.
Yeah, not a whole lot of argument coming from the crowd on that one. Clearwater just getting really, really aggressive when it comes to this point in the game, trying to strip it away from as many players as possible. And Robbie Raspberry instantly kind of just knew to look to the ref on that one.
Raspberry's first free throw goes as the Spartans get to 50 by halftime.
50 points. It's a 33-point lead here for the Spartans. And, I mean, I think they've just executed their game plan to perfection. I mean, they've been getting all the shots they wanted, and they've been dominating on the boards and on defense. This has just been a great game played by the Spartans, especially in a comeback game here for A.J. Batiste.
Raspberry's second free throw goes straight through, and the ball is turned over by Clearwater just as soon as they get it back. So the Spartans will likely have one more possession left in the half, up 51-17. Ball into Grace. Spartans will have a chance to practice kind of a last-second play here. Grace near the timeline gets it off to Raspberry, who breaks the press. Now into Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner rises against a defender. No good. Rebound fought for. Fisher has it. 2 seconds left. He'll have a chance to get one away. Threw it off of Edwards out of bounds, as that will bring it into the half. The Spartans absolutely dominant to start this one off in the first half. 51-17 the score, and you can't really be too mad with anything you've seen so far from Collegiate.
Absolutely, and I think a lot of that can be attributed to perfect offense from this Collegiate team. They've only turned the ball over 6 times, which is a stark difference compared to their earlier few games in this season, compared to the Clearwater Indians having 19 turnovers so far in this game, most of which coming from their primary guard, number 2, that being Jaden Fisher. He is just having so much trouble distributing it to his players, getting it inside, whereas a lot of Collegiate's turnovers are just coming from fouls and just really mindless calls. Still, just great work so far by Collegiate to operate offensively.
Yeah, and one more thing I'd like to say is how the Clearwater crowd has completely left. I mean, they are almost all nearly gone. I mean, I just think this is something to note. I think that Collegiate has been more physical and they've been more dominant, and I think that should continue into the second half.
Well, that'll take us to halftime. The Spartans dominating and well on their way to an outright league championship, leading 51-17. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the start of the second half. Hello and welcome back to the Collegiate Sports Network as we get ready to start the second half. Collegiate running away with this one, leading 51-17 as a league championship is well on the line, as it looks like Hayan Rafi is nearly going to take over scorekeeping duties, and I'm a little skeptical of that myself.
Yeah, so be a little aware of any stats that are coming into this next half. Might not be 100% accurate. However, going into the second half, so far we can just see from the scoring spread out and turnover spread out, Collegiate has absolutely dominated this game so far, especially when it comes to scoring. We are looking at scoring from 9 separate players on the Collegiate lineup. That's just all out impressive, most of which getting above 5 points so far into this game. It kind of just shows how diverse we can be playing. Really, if I had to look at anything so far in this game, my biggest complaint would be Collegiate's almost too good for their own good. We're seeing a little bit of, once again, tunnel vision, especially from AJ Batiste, who's new into this game. Obviously, we're already seeing a solid 9 points from him. No disappointment there, but still, oftentimes when we get into that kind of iso ball kind of gameplay, especially in these blowout situations, we really just want to see them play more team ball, because that's what wins state championships, and that's really what we're here to do tonight.
Jaden Fisher gets the ball in for Clearwater. Pass deflected away by Shackelford. Shackelford steals it away. Met in the coffin corner by 2 defenders. Gets it away to Raspberry. Spartans looking to move in transition. Raspberry now gets the ball off to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner looking to dribble baseline. Gets it off to cutting Shackelford. Tip pass out to Weta. Good save by Shackelford. Weta falling to the floor. Gets it off to Raspberry. Raspberry up and under. Tried to get the floater. No good. Frantic effort that time on offense for the Spartans. Yields nothing. Edwards gets the ball in on a give and go. No good on the basket. Weta now moving quickly. Gets it up to Shackelford. Spartans don't have numbers. Shackelford going to try to take it anyway. Kicks it back out to Ahmad. Swings it back to Weta. Weta now back to Ahmad. 3 on the way. Missed off the top of the backboard. Now gets it to Weta. Weta now to Heinz Turner as the Spartans are going to reset. Gets it back to Ahmad. Ahmad from the left corner. Now out to Shackelford. Shackelford dumps it into Weta. Weta now out to Raspberry. Corner 3. No good. Raspberry has been cold for really the past month from behind the arc.
Yeah, and Raspberry has been cold, but I think that also shows why Collegiate is so great. I mean, one of their best players, one of their starters, has been cold for a month, and they've been completely dominating teams. I mean, I think that just goes to show how much depth we have and how great this team is, actually.
Yeah, it's a good point, Hayan. They haven't really needed to rely on Robbie except for some good defense, which he's provided. Ball's tipped away from Edwards. He regathers. Edwards at the free throw line. Instead gives it back up to Burford. Burford kicks it to Bergkamp nearly off his shoes. Instead, Edwards has the ball out on the perimeter, looking for somebody to get the ball into. Instead finds Bergkamp on the left side on the perimeter. Now dumps it down to Fisher. Fisher on Burford on the baseline, guarded by Weta. In pass to Kirby, no good, just leaves it short. As Heinz Turner comes down with the rebound, moves it up to Weta. Weta now on the left side, pulls the ball back out, kicks it back now to Heinz Turner. Heinz Turner sizing up Kirby, elevates over, can't get the shot to go. Shackelford tips it back in.
Shackelford rising up above his defenders, doing a good job putting it back up for points.
Edwards now with the ball on the other side of the court, swings it around to Burford. Burford looking for options, picks up his dribble, guarded by Weta, now kicks it out to Bergkamp. Bergkamp met by a double team, gets it off to Burford, who lays it up and over Heinz Turner. Nice cut to the basket that time for Clearwater. They've had a couple of good looks, first time they've been able to convert.
And that's his first 2 points of the night.
Raspberry on the other side of the court now gets it to Ahmad. Ahmad in pass to Heinz Turner, touch pass to Weta. Now back out to Ahmad. Ahmad top of the key. Now Shackelford. Shackelford knifes into the lane, blocked from behind, out of bounds. Spartans to inbound under the basket.
And talking about that last 2 points there from Clearwater, I think those were maybe their third points from the paint all game. They've just been completely dominated from the paint. They've been forced to get their points out on the perimeter, and that's why they only have 19 compared to Collegiate's 53. I think that dominance on the inside that Collegiate asserts is just too much for Clearwater.
Yeah, that layup over Heinz Turner was really one of the only ones that Clearwater's been able to get down low in this game, Hayan. Spartans have the ball back in to Batiste. Top of the key. Swings it around drum right. Left corner. Now Batiste, drum right. Thought about the corner 3. Instead drives baseline. Elevated jumper over defender. Can't get the teardropper to go. Fisher comes down with the rebound. Fisher guarded by Drumright, breaks the timeline.
One of the first situations where Collegiate hasn't been able to come down with the rebound.
Cutting pass inside, layup. Cannot be converted by Snell. Chege comes down with the rebound. Ahmad dribbles behind his back. Gets the pass off to Drumright, kicked back out to Ahmad. Ahmad now to Batiste. Swung back out to Drumright. Drumright fakes the three, gets it back to Ahmad. Clearwater certainly guarding Drumright closely after a torrid performance in the first half from behind the arc. Chege missed the layup in close. Weta came down with the rebound, had it blocked away out of bounds. Spartans ball still on this end.
Good follow-up opportunity by Collegiate there. Brett Weta got up and under, managed to claim the rebound for himself.
Drumright gets it to Ahmad. Ahmad now near the top of the key. Resets his offense, swings it out to Weta. Weta threw it right to Batiste, who just had it bounce off his hands out of bounds. Batiste wasn't entirely prepared for the pass.
Into the game for the Spartans.
Yeah, that's a couple of really disjointed offensive possessions there by Collegiate. Coach Fiegel is clearly disappointed. Collegiate just fighting amongst themselves, trying to get themselves open in those scenarios, trying to run plays. Good job by Clearwater defense to stay confident and stay strong, not letting them have too many opportunities.
Clevenger gets the ball away to Street. Street now to Schroeder. Schroeder dribbling in against the defense. Kicked back out. Three on the way. Clevenger, no good. As Batiste comes down with the rebound. Kicked out to Drumright in transition. Drumright, quick stop in transition. Now off to Batiste. Batiste pulls the three. No good. Off the glass and back iron. Clevenger comes down with the rebound. Schroeder out in front in transition, gets it to go.
And again, we see that tunnel vision there from AJ Batiste. He didn't have to take that shot. And I mean, I just think that comes with growing pains, getting back into the offense, in which he realizes that he doesn't have to be the main offensive option anymore.
Ahmad gets the ball away to Drumright, now gets it right back, top of the key, swings it out to Batiste. Batiste moves it back to Ahmad. Ahmad now back to Batiste. Batiste looking to get the ball in, finds Cyrus, kicked back out. Now Drumright for three, left side, good. Carter Drumright buries the three.
Good job by Asa Ahmad to see him open there and distribute accordingly.
That's more of the ball movement that we're wanting to see for the Spartans. Batiste had a couple of touches and instead decided to distribute to Ahmad, who found the good passing lanes and the wide open Drumright. Spartans force another turnover. Drumright heat check from three, way deep out there. He's fouled on the shot. Clearwater not allowing him to land. They've been trying to guard him way up close, and they're going to pay for it that time. Drumright going to the line for three.
That was a difficult, long shot right there, but letting Carter Drumright go to the line for three is essentially the same thing there as him taking a three wide open from the side.
And that is the fourth foul on Trent Fisher.
He's going to get himself in a little bit of foul trouble in a situation where Clearwater really can't afford that.
Drumright misses the first free throw. It's going to be a line change for the Indians. 5 in, 5 out. Score 56-21 with 2:54 left in the third. A little bit of confusion at the scorer's table, as it looks like everyone will be able to get in and out.
Yeah, talking about like a little bit of a carnival there. We saw players rotating in and out all over the place.
Drumright gets the second free throw to go.
Yeah, as both crowds have kind of thinned out at this point, as Collegiate's just been dominating throughout the game.
Ball thrown way over the head of Jaden Fisher, out of bounds. Clearwater, just another unforced error. The Spartans get the ball right back. Well, the Spartan offense has certainly slowed a little bit, having only scored, 8 points in this half or 7 points in this half?
Yeah, only 7 points so far in this half. They've definitely slowed down so far, kind of confronted a little bit more by the Clearwater defense. Definitely props to them.
Defense has definitely held up their own. Drumright open three, no good from the top of the arc, and over the back called on Cyrus, out of bounds. Not out of bounds, sorry. Over the back foul called, turned over to the Indians. Spartan defense, though, has certainly held up their end of the bargain, as they have limited Clearwater much the same as they did in the first and second quarters. Fisher driving baseline, gets the pass away. Kicked back out, Fisher, three, good.
Manages to rattle it in. as the score is now 24-58. Collegiate still with the advantage.
Drumright, nice move in transition, gets it off to Batiste, who's blocked away. Drumright comes down with the rebound, gets it back out to Batiste. Batiste knifes into the lane, takes against 2 defenders, fouled as he went up again.
Once again, we saw a little bit of that iso ball there. He could have done the bounce pass out to both Judah Cyrus and Sebastian Hines-Turner, which were both open options. Still managed to pull the foul, though, still getting pretty consistent points.
Yeah, we've seen the Spartans do a good job of getting those kind of dump-off passes down low when one player is able to draw 2 defenders. Haven't quite seen Batiste able to do that in this game. He's received a couple of those passes, but he hasn't quite been able to reciprocate. Batiste, free throw, gets it to go.
Yeah, but I think the thing about Batiste is that his ability to draw contact and be able to finish through that contact, I think once he gets into the groove of things in this offense, I think that his takes to the rim will be a lot more effective, and he'll be able to learn through practices with Coach Fico about which time to take it in and which time to not take it in.
Second free throw rims out. Bergkamp comes down with the rebound, guarded by Hines-Turner, takes the ball across half court, met by Bond now with the double team. Spartans sold out for the steal, big advantage now for Clearwater. Elevated layup is good, count the basket for Smith.
Good job right there by Clearwater. They had the clear advantage number-wise. 3 Clearwater offensive players against 1 Judah Cyrus.
Hines-Turner drives baseline, puts it up over defender, no good. Cyrus with the second chance, lays it back in. 61-26 now the score. Spartans lead 1:29 left in the third. Ball tipped away from Kirby, stolen away. Batiste, Euro step in transition, just lost it going up, out of bounds, off of Clearwater. Batiste once again just gets caught going downhill with no outlet options.
Collegiate now going to inbound the ball, trying to set something up on offense, which they've been clearly lacking so far in this third quarter, excuse me.
Corner 3 on the way, Drumright no good. Hines-Turner there to clean it up off the glass and gets the layup.
That was a rebound and putback against 1, 2, 3 Clearwater defenders.
Hines-Turner just snuck behind the defense there after he got the pass off on the inbounds to Drumright and snuck behind for the layup after the rebound. 63-26 now your score, just under a minute left in the third. Ball into Fisher, guarded by Raspberry. Now gets it back out to Kirby. Kirby on the right side, guarded by Drumright, trying to dribble in. Gets it right to the arc. Fighting for options, and timeout. Called by Jonathan Dickstall for the Indians.
Yeah, and if you're Clearwater, I mean, this is getting close to being a 40-point deficit. I mean, I don't know what to do. You saw that in the last play where A.J. Batiste rose over 3 different Clearwater defenders and just had a very easy tip back and put back off the glass. I don't know how you're going to be able to defend that. I mean, maybe take more shots from the outside. It seems that they've been trying to force it inside and get some easy layups, but that's just not going to happen against when you have Sebastian Hines-Turner and David Chege and Judah Cyrus on the inside. So I don't know how Clearwater is going to work their way through this.
Yeah, I mean, not much left in it at this point. Spartans have a hefty lead late in the going.
Yeah, there's really nothing short of a miracle that Clearwater can do in this situation, less than just trying to fight for every possession here, try and come off with some good things to say about this game. And in terms of Collegiate, you got to stay consistent. In this quarter, we're seeing a whole kind of downgrade from how they were operating in the second quarter. However, still outscoring Clearwater. We just want to see some consistency from the Collegiate Spartans at this point.
Fisher gets the ball off to Kirby. A legal screen, though, set by Burford as Clearwater turns it over again.
Clearwater falls on Weston Burford.
27.9 seconds left.
His 5th foul.
As Burford fouls out of this game with his 5th foul. Well, we've talked about it, though, tonight. Clearwater's gone into a lot of foul trouble kind of late in the going.
Absolutely. Not a huge hit to Clearwater, however, as he's only scored 2 points so far tonight.
But I think defensively, that's a major hit. I mean, he was at least somewhat able to handle himself against Sebastian Hines-Turner, but without him, I don't know what they're going to do.
As a reach-in foul is called beyond half court, and the coach is going to get teed up for Clearwater. As tempers boiling over here a little bit for Clearwater. It was certainly a debatable call. I will say that on the other side of the court. It looked like it might have been a tie-up. It will be a technical foul, though.
Yeah.
So Heinz Turner will go to the line shooting 2 free throws.
As the Clearwater fans are going to yell out to their coach, praising him for that call out there. Definitely a questionable call on number 2, Fisher there, as Sebastian Heinz Turner is going to make his first call. I got to say, I don't know about you guys, but this might be the most technical fouls I've seen thrown around in a high school game so far, at least this season, with that one being the 3rd one of the night so far.
Yeah, it's been an interesting night on both sides. Saw a technical foul on A.J. Batiste for hanging on the rim, and then there was one on Burford, and wasn't entirely sure what Burford was got called for, and now there's going to be a foul called away from the basket, I believe. Or maybe a reassigning of a foul from the last one.
Yeah, I believe it was just a reassignment of a foul from the earlier play.
Yeah, it looks like they're just clarifying that one. But going back to what you said, I mean, then we had that technical foul on Burford. Not sure what that one was about, and then we just had that technical foul there on the head coach for Clearwater. So it's been an interesting night as far as technical fouls are concerned, and certainly 3 more than we usually see in a given game. Heinz Turner gets the ball, 1 second left, rises, shoots at the buzzer, no good, as that'll bring it in to the 3rd quarter. 65-26, Spartans winning this one going away.
Yeah, Collegiate still outscoring Clearwater in this situation here. But you can kind of see from the Clearwater Indian fans, you see most of their student section just kind of sitting on their phones at this point. It's just, it's a little hard to watch at this point. Collegiate kind of just dominating in all facets of the game. However, if I got to say anything about this quarter, you can definitely see the visible decrease in capabilities from the Collegiate offense here, as we've seen a significant raise in turnovers from the first 2 quarters here, picking up 3 in this quarter alone. And just a couple other things compounding towards this game, toward having them only score 15 points, which admittedly that's quite a few points, but still not quite exactly what we saw from Collegiate in earlier quarters. And that kind of has to do with trying to maintain consistency.
Yeah, and even the Collegiate student section, I mean, I would say about 75% of it is gone, considering they are up by 39 points. I believe so, with 8 minutes left. I think what I'm going to be rooting for, hopefully they can get to 80. Yeah, I think I'm looking
I'd
for
say
80.
80 is within reach.
Yeah.
Ahmad gets the ball in. Spartans have first possession, as I guess we've set ourselves a bit of a target to keep ourselves entertained. 65-26 the score, as the Spartans will be looking for hopefully 15 more points. And Shackelford gets him 2 points of the way there with an easy layup in the lane.
As a frantic couple of possessions there, good passes leads to Shackelford getting an easy inside look.
Ball swung around. Kirby now with it, puts it up against Shackelford. No good. Shackelford comes down with the rebound. Nice effort on defense for him. Heinz Turner 2-on-1 with Weta. Lays it up and gets the foul. Brett Weta in transition on a nice pass from Sebastian Heinz Turner.
As he puts another player up within the 5-point range on this Collegiate team, really kind of goes to show how every single player on this team is functioning so well with one another to get the points up on the board, as now even the pep band from Collegiate is leaving the stadium here.
Weta misses his free throw, regathers his own miss, though, gets it out to Heinz Turner. Swings it back into Weta. Weta gets both defenders to jump and lays it in. Brett Weta, what an effort on the offensive end. Gets a 4-point possession on his own.
What an effort play right there. Gets his own rebound, passes out to Sebastian Heinz Turner. Hard pass into his right hand, gets 2 guys to jump and still gets it to go.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, yeah, we are getting to see the guys out here. Harrison, Simon, and Logan play. They are making their way in here.
As the seniors are going to get a chance to check out of the game, there were 4 of them starting this one, and 4 of them will exit. James Shackelford, Robbie Raspberry, Asa Ahmad, and Brett Weta. They've all had great seasons and are looking to continue it this next week. This isn't their last home game. They will get one in the playoffs in the sub-state on Monday. Not entirely sure against who, but they will get that one home game as the 2 seed in Sub-State. We'll talk about that one, though, a little bit later as the broadcast winds down. For now, Kirby dribbling into the lane, rejected by Judah Cyrus. Spartans still taking the effort to Clearwater defensively, up 71-26.
Yeah, if anything, that just kind of goes to show how depthful this team is, as they have an entirely JV squad out, still with Judah Cyrus and AJ Batiste, makes a really still dangerous combination.
Ball into Schroeder, kicks it back out to Street, now to Clevenger. Clevenger kicks it around to Kirby, who is fouled by Simon on a reach-in.
Team second of the quarter.
5 minutes left in the game. We have a running clock. Yeah, really at this point, Collegiate, not a whole lot left to say. Just staying consistent, still playing hard against this Clearwater team. Clearwater trying to operate on offense going into the sub-state season.
Schroeder with the ball. Nice fly-in by Jack Grace there to try to pick his pocket. And unfortunately, threw it out of bounds, so it'll stay on this end with Clearwater, as the Indians will send 3 players to the scorer's table.
Hayden Snell, number 35. Kaylee Edwards into the game for Clearwater.
Edwards with the ball, trying to get it to Bergkamp instead. He'll get it off to Snell. Snell moves it back to Bergkamp. Bergkamp kicks it back around to Snell. Now to Kirby. Kirby lays it up off the glass, no good. Cyrus had the rebound tipped away. Clay able to come down with it, gets it in transition to Batiste. Batiste kicks it out. Simon, corner 3, transition, no good. Good ball movement, though, by the Spartans. Cyrus can't get the putback to go. Spartans will have a 3rd chance on the rebound. Grace elevates for the layup, blocked away. Kirby now in transition. Just kind of a volleyball block that time by Judah Cyrus, as the height advantage was significant.
Yeah, at this point in the game, I think that was a pretty accurate call to say it was a volleyball block. You kind of just see it smacked down back in their face, just overhanging. Like, just really, it's just monstrous to watch.
Bergkamp now with the ball on the right side. Ball lost out of bounds by Edwards, going Collegiate's way. Bond now with the ball for the Spartans, as a couple of depth options for Collegiate getting a little bit more playing time, including Logan Clay, Jack Grace, Harrison Simon was into the game momentarily. David Chege gets tripped trying to drive his way to the basket.
Clearwater fouls number 35. Cale Edwards hits the 3rd.
I mean, Clearwater didn't like that call, but I mean, when you're down 45, I guess there's nothing really else you can do, but hey.
Bond kicks it out to Simon, now into Chege. Chege blocked away by Edwards. Edwards tries to move it up to Fisher, nearly out of his reach, regathers. Spinning against Bond, rises, shoots, call it a pass. Edwards now from 3, no good, rebound. Controlled by Chege, 2:19 left in the game. Spartans still lead 71-28, foul. That'll be a reach-in called on Bergkamp.
Yeah, not a whole lot to say at this point in the game. I'm not seeing 80 on the board, however, as they still have 9 points to go with a mostly JV squad out. Couldn't quite reach that goal.
Yeah, they stalled out a little bit. I don't think they're getting there, especially with the running clock. Grace double team, turns it over to Schroeder. Schroeder in transition tried to get it to Bergkamp off his leg, out of bounds. It was likely tipped by Jack Grace.
I'm going to look for a new target number, 75. I get with the running clock, it'll be tough.
Yeah, 1 minute and 30 seconds left, running clock. I'm not seeing it.
Bergkamp, nice look on the out-of-bounds play. Just missed the kind of lob layup.
Yeah.
Well drawn out play, though. Clay double team, gets it over to Simon. Simon now to Bond. Bond at the top of the key, back to Simon on the right side. Swings it to Clay in the corner. Now to Bond on the other corner. Now Grace from the left is fouled as he went up, slapped on the wrist. 1:09 now left, as the Spartans are going to inbound from the baseline.
Clearwater fouls number 25, Aiden Snell, his 3rd. Team's 4th in the quarter.
as Clearwater is going to decide to transfer their varsity line out in favor of their more JV squad. Some guys who haven't really gotten any minutes so far in this game, as it really doesn't matter, only 45 seconds running clock left.
Grace gets the ball away to Clay. Clay now back to Grace. 37 seconds left in this one. Grace now swung out to Simon, into Clay. Clay from the right corner. Now to Simon, back to Bond. Spartans might decide to just take the air out of this ball. Bond passes back to Simon.
Clearwater still going to pressure. Clearly, Collegiate not even looking at the board anymore, just trying to maintain possession as to not let Clearwater get another look. 13 seconds left. Yeah, they're just going to dribble this one out.
Collegiate just going to dribble this one out, coming away with a 71-26 victory. Once again, the Collegiate defense absolutely stifles their opponent. We've seen it for the past couple of weeks as the Spartans keep humming on their way to the postseason. An incredible performance tonight from the Spartans, really evened scoring attack. You have to like what you're seeing heading in to sub-state competition.
Yeah, good point there. Just a great game all around. Not a whole lot to say at this point in the game. You know, winning by 71-26. That's a blowout if I've ever seen one. Just a great game all around. Really consistent shooting from a lot of different guys. Like I said, we still only had, we had 9 players on the collegiate team, all scoring individually, with 3 separate players getting above 10 points. Just a really good showing by a big diversity of collegiate players.
Just straight annihilation. I mean, this is really good momentum for Collegiate going into the playoffs. I would like to see Collegiate keep up this momentum. Whoever they're going to play Monday night here at home, they'll get a very good crowd, I assume, even though it'll be a Monday because it is going to be a playoff game. So I'm hoping here for Collegiate to take the state competition, and I think they're going to be able to do that through their depth. I mean, when you think about it, you have people like Mason Bond coming in, hitting like 8 points. He's being able to shoot so well, being a killer and a sniper from the outside. So I think the depth is what's going to lead the collegiate team through the playoffs in this season.
Certainly an excellent night for the Spartans. They continue their hot run, and they close out the regular season with a big win and a league championship. A lot of things to feel good about for the Spartans. As we close this one out, we'll finish it off with players of the game. We'll start with you, Hyon. Who you got?
Can I say everyone? I mean,
hey, you can take the field. It's whatever.
I mean, when you look at the stat sheet right here, you had 4 separate players in double-digit scoring. I mean, I don't know what to say. Everyone contributed so well, and everyone was being able to pass the ball around. And outside of a few mishaps, it looks like the offense was gelling really well with A.J. Batiste back in the lineup. So I think that's just another way to prove how this team has traversed so far throughout the season, from being a one-dimensional team early in the season to now being all around, and they're going to be able to keep this up in the playoffs. So I think my player of the game is everyone.
That's a good call right there. But, it's senior night, so I'm going to have to give it to a senior. We have players like James Shackelford getting 13 points on the night, really valuable inside the paint. But I'm going to give it to somebody who wasn't really reflected on the stat sheet, but more so by his by Asa Ahmad specifically's ability to distribute points. I think a lot of their success in the second quarter especially can be attributed to his play running, his ability to get it into those guys who are more consistent inside the paint and outside, a lot of with how much those players on the team respect him. They know when he's calling for the ball, they know that a player like Carter Drumright or Mason Bond is open on the outside, that they need to just funnel it through him to get it out there to him. And I think that can be attributed as to why Carter Drumright had 11 points, Mason Bond had 6 points, and a lot of that was because of Asa Ahmad specifically. So I'm going to have to give my player of the game to Asa Ahmad, who also, he only had 1 turnover on the game, whereas the point guard from Clearwater had 8. So you got to just, even that stat line proves it in of itself that he just deserved it today.
Yeah, it was a really good night all around for the Spartans, and kind of like Hyon, I'm going to take a bit of an altered approach here to the player of the game. I might choose somewhat of the field. Going to choose it from the senior field, though. I'm going to give it to 2 seniors, and I'm going to give it to Ahmad and Shackelford. I thought they both came out playing really good basketball. They gave the Spartans something different on both ends. Really impressed with how much James was able to score tonight, you know. I mean, he scored a lot more than he usually does, way over his averages. And, of course, he always brings the defense, so that's what you have to love from him. And then, of course, on the other end on offense, it's Asa Ahmad controlling that offense. I think it's good to give him a shout-out for the type of player that he's been all year for the Spartans. Although, like Hyon said, that it's not necessarily reflected on the scoring column. He does a lot of things in a lot of different places, and it really pans out for the Spartans. It's a kind of presence that they need this whole entire season, that's carried them this far, that's led them through the challenges of the first half, and that has them rolling into the postseason. That'll just about do it for our coverage tonight of collegiate basketball as the Spartans come away with a huge victory over the Clearwater Indians and secure a league championship. That means that the Spartans have now won 12 of their last 14 in the regular season and head into the playoffs in the first round of Sub-State riding an absolute hot streak, just like they came in with. So the Spartans, their next game will be Monday, I believe at 7 o'clock against an undetermined opponent. But it will be the 7 seed in the sub-state competition, as the Spartans have obtained the 2 seed. Cheney will be the team to knock off, as they are the 1 seed. I believe they are 17-2 on the season, so the Spartans struggling first half to the season kind of eliminated them from contention of that 1 seed, but they have a lot to play for, and really, for my money, this Spartan team is a team that can play with just about anybody at the 3A level, let alone the 4A level. I mean, we saw them hang with McPherson. We've seen them kind of take down Wellington, who's a solid 4A team as well. Spartan team has a lot of places to go. It'll be a lot of fun looking forward to what they can do in the sub-state and hopefully able to make it to their 2nd straight state championship.
Yeah, absolutely. That McPherson chat was a big one. You know, in my opinion, that is the team that is the best in the state right now. Watching them play was absolutely incredible to watch, and Collegiate hung right there in with them. And if they can play like that, I see them having, well, obviously difficulty, but having a really, really solid shot getting to that state title.
Well, that'll be what's coming up next for us on the Collegiate Sports Network. It'll be Monday at 7 here from Collegiate, as the Spartans will play the 7 seed in the sub-state playoffs. We hope you'll join us then. It'll be a fun ride through the postseason, and we hope you'll be with us all the way through. Until then, for Aiden Myers and Hyon Rafi, I'm Connor Schubach. Good night.